Jump into the night, 'cause I can smell the trouble. Don't you miss the fight, just get there on the double. Gotta make a difference, moving with a purpose, feeling my...
Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back. Sorry for the late start. I am Pseudo. Gonna have to change that intro soon at the rate we're going. I keep giving Bladesworn sauce. We'll see. They seem to have fixed a lot of the jank, but we have a TBD on the power level. I actually think the power level's pretty mid, but I think that's okay. So I think that Bladesworn landed, especially with the Condi and support traits, like right where supports and Condi classes should be. And this is gonna be cope heavy, but I kind of think everything else in the game needs to be brought down to those levels. Just TLDR of where we're at. But let's get into it. We'll queue up for EBG, see if we even remotely get in tonight. Yeah, sorry about that. Little bit of a late start tonight. I got railed at work, guys. Like, hopefully you're enjoying Rush Week. Hopefully it's going well for you. Or maybe it's already gone well and you have your Gifts of Battle already done. Very, very, very cool reset event for World vs. World. And even if you don't like World vs. World, now is the time to duel, because this really gets it out of the way for a substantial portion of your life. And thank you, Juan123. No, it should be Juan23. I can't tell you how to live your life, though. Thank you for the follow, as well as Quickscope Jimmy for the follows over the break. Thanks, guys. Appreciated. Oh my gosh. Let me make sure it looks good, sounds good. We're already dropping a couple, but that's because I forgot to hide this, and then we're right. Yeah, sorry, Bingley. It's a, you know, you gotta take care. My friend calls it the cluster effect, where you'll have nothing during the week, and then holy fucking shit, like, just all of the things. I disagree. I think World vs. World is fun for regular World vs. World players, but maybe it's different for roaming versus zerging. I've been trying to figure out how to make Bladesworn do damage again, guys. You know, the eternal struggle, and I don't think it does. I think that the more I theory craft this, the more I think they're going to have to make overcharge cartridges a stun break. And hear me out on this. I think they're going to have to give it one charge, not an ammunition skill for PvP World vs. World, but it's going to have to be one of your stun break options, because otherwise you're just going to take like whatever damage traits make Bladesworn OP and all of the stances in the game with the way Bava is now. And I don't think they're going to start nerfing relics like specific to classes, so I kind of see that as the only path forward. But really, I think they're going to have to turn up the Grandmasters if they want the Bladesworn to not be the most mediocre thing on the face of the planet. But I'm really glad they fixed a lot of the bugs, and credit to them. I owe them a video. We'll see where we land with that. Oh, trying to guild raid because it clogs up the queues. I gotcha. No, that makes a lot of sense. Oh my gosh. Hey, Bar, what's up? Sorry for the late start. Thanks for having those notifications on. I appreciate it. And sorry my camera's like cutting this off. I'm gonna have to get a different color mic arm or actually clean my guest room more frequently. I have a bad idea that I want to try a little later, chat, because I've been messing around with like First Revenant, Miss Stranger, Storm Singer again, and really the only one that seems to do damage is Miss Stranger, because it goes through all the damage reductions and stuff. It is what it is. You flip one tower and then your inventory gets absolutely quagmired. It would be nice if World vs. World Rush gave you all the rewards at like the end of it, you know what I mean? Same thing with PvP as well. Like, I'll try to queue PvP and I'll do one game and I'll be like, oh, now I spend the rest of all of my queue time sorting my shit. But it's great. I love it. I'd rather have this than the alternative, which is nothing. So here we are. I want to try something bad because I had this idea as soon as I like obviously got up and left my computer. I want to try kind of going the route of PvE damage a little bit, and I want to try Dragon Spike Mine. Oops, I actually don't want to delete this build. Hold on. I'm running out of build slots, chat. That's the other thing, is like all this testing is really just destroying my butt in terms of build slots. First Revenant was good. I want to keep that. Jesus. It's kind of... Damn, I don't want to get rid of any of these yet. What's the difference between these two First Revenant builds? That one's that. How are these different at all? It'll be like one piece of gear or something. Oh, the stance. Okay, we can change this one. Alright, this is what I do. This is what I do in my free time, dude. I just sit the build editor and min-max stuff and test, and then go, that sucked, and then, like, test again. Okay, what did I want to try here? Because the weird thing with Bladesworn as well, I don't know, it might be just like a design philosophy thing where, like, back in the day, the idea was all of your power budget was leveraged onto burst skills, and now that's not really a thing because burst skills can't, like, be good because there's so much adrenaline gain in the game. So Bladesworn's in this really weird place in PvE as well, where you have to, like, sacrifice half your bar to flow stabilizer and overcharge cartridges and dragon spike mine to make the class even work. And I get that in 2026, but also, like, maybe it should have one of those pieces built into the kit, or, like, Dragon Trigger just shouldn't have a cooldown. Like, maybe that's a Grandmaster they could put in the game, I don't know. And it could just be balanced around flow gain. But I wanted to try this. Actually, I wanna grab a different gear set. Hang on, chat. Hang on. Hold, please. Where's the one? I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. It's almost that one. Whatever, I'll do it from scratch. It's making it impossible for you to castle or capture Stone Mist. I think my friend was in that boat before he yoed off to space. Do you need it for Strife? Or do you just need it for the rush? This is wrong. Yeah, this is mega wrong. No, this is mega right. Okay. Back piece, ring. Yeah, the weird thing about Strife is you have to do all that nonsense in order. That's like kind of my only complaint about it, is that you have to do all of it in order. If you didn't, it would be a lot more forgiving. Because sometimes you own Stone Mist, but don't own an enemy garrison. Sometimes you own an enemy garrison, but not Stone Mist. Etc. Okay, this is perfectly balanced as all things should be for Firebrand. Runes. Boots, gloves, probably shouldn't quote the purple guy that committed mass genocide, hypothetically. There we go. Avengers is such a good series of movies. I really don't like the title Endgame, though. And this needs to be Resistance. After fighting Soup's Antiquary, though, not gonna lie, though, chat, I am so disheartened. Like, whatever sauce Bladesworn got with this Condi update, comparatively, is nothing to other Condi classes that are in the game. Like, there is some absolutely silly stuff rolling around at the speed of sound out there. And it's, not balanced, but that's okay, because they don't balance around roaming. Soup's other point was like that it... Meanwhile, everybody on the Thief forums was like, oh, Antiquary's... Like, Thief is so bad now, and he's like, yeah, please buff it. I dare you. Absolutely dumpstered my butt today. This is right. Okay. We'll give this a shot. Well, it got a Condi option. Like, the thing that makes Condi Berserker even sort of work is that it still does power damage and Skullgrinder is broken, right? Skullgrinder is a Condi class by itself. Like, it's not Condi warrior, essentially. It's just Skull Grinder on your bar. And that's fine if that's where we want balance to be, but Bladesworn's Dragon Trigger then needs to do equivalent amounts of bullshit. And to be clear, I don't want that. I do not want that. I think it would be a lot healthier if they had like a perma cover Condi, sort of like Dragon Hunter, because Guardian's cover or Condi specs are that it does a lot of burning and some cover Condi, and that's fine, right? Bladesworn shouldn't just be Berserker 2.0. It should be its own flavor of Condi, and that's why I think that if they're going to give it a Condi option... Hello, Knives. Go check out Knives' new video, guys. He made a very cool Bladesworn short. If they're going to give Bladesworn a real Condi option, I think the Grandmasters needs to make it do literally like 20 stacks of burning for 1 second or something. On Dragon Slash, so that if you cleanse it, you take no damage, but if you don't cleanse it, you die. It needs to be its own duck, essentially. I don't think there's a universe where they make Bladesworn a real Condi class in current year without making it either undertuned or hideously broken. It's good. They added, like, the miners added variety to it. Now they need to work on the Grandmasters. But I'm not gonna pseudo-splain how to do their jobs to ArenaNet. They did a good job. They deserve a pat on the head and a fruit cup, and hopefully we can go from here. I'm trying to also, like... A lot of people have asked me where's my, like, write-up on the Bladesworn changes, and I'm like, A, dude, it's been a week. I want to, like, give it more time. And B, I really want to see how everybody else is vibing it first, because I am not the main character of existence no matter how many push-ups I've done. Yet. I'm working on it, right? Like, I want to see where we land with this nonsense and how other people feel about it before I give my 2 cents, because I don't have enough data points yet to give an opinion. But we'll see. Single set best? You mean like bench? What do you mean, Dubious? Don't think you can just make a good burning Condi class. Every other Condi class just spams conditions. Push-ups. I don't know. I do knuckle push-ups, so it would be imbalanced, right? Because I'm using different parts of my back. I can probably do around that. My bench record, which I have not done since, was 18 reps of 206. I think I channeled like 4 different deities when that happened. There are 3 support classes in that. I am not even gonna try. She'll make the video? No, make your own video, man. I'm super stoked you've been like sticking with it this long. It's been great. I remember I did 400 sit-ups when I was in high school once, but I took breaks. That almost killed me. Sit-ups are also bad for your back, your tailbone. Oh, I can try that. Get back to you. I think that wouldn't... Right, And I don't disagree with you, Kale. I almost don't even think that Bladesworn should have cover conditions. I think it should just have, like, every single thing on it, if it's gonna have a Condi option, should do burning. If that makes any sense. Like, we just go the other route, and we completely overload burning, right? Like, all of your explosions... I almost think, honestly, I was thinking about this in the gym, and I was like, well, that might be too OP. But they gutted its power damage to make it do Condi damage. Just like, what if overcharged cartridges was just baseline? Like, what if they rolled the power damage in so you didn't have to sacrifice a skill to the gods of PvE? And then what if just all explosions did burning now if you took the Condi trait? Like, I almost think that that's what it should do. I'm also not paying attention at all because this build actually requires a brain cell. Main hand torch. Yeah, I like the sword changes. It's still not a real Condi weapon. It's more of a setup weapon, but they did a good job. Like, the changes that they did were good and made sense. Yeah, Berserk. Well, the other thing is, like, why does Berserker work as a Condi PvE class at all? It's because King of Fires exists. Like, I've thought many times that King of Fires should kind of just be a baseline option for Berserker, but should scale like dog water unless you, like, invest skill points or whatever it is, stat points into your build. Like, King of Fires is a really, really fun trait. It's just that back when it didn't do power damage, it kind of, like, just didn't matter, so they made it do power damage, so it sort of matters, but not really. And you also can't take it because, like, the trait that makes Berserker work in PvP is a Grandmaster, which I also hate to my core, but there's a lot of classes like that. It's not just Warrior. Why does Bladesworn Burning not scale with power instead? I think there's a world where it scales with Condi. Because honestly, I do think that the Condi version of Bladesworn is a lot better in PvP than it is in World versus World. Granted, Antiquary is still in PvP, but it's like that's tough, right? Because PvP Condi is either good or useless. There's no in between, and it's really dependent on how many cleanses are in the meta. So I don't know. I'm kind of waiting to see how the initial knee-jerk reaction dies down, and then see where we land with stuff. And also, I'm not done build crafting, right? Like, I went through 10 builds when I should have been doing work today, and that's why one of the reasons I'm late today. I really did get slammed, though. Also, I blame Kunai's. Fucking time evaporates when I watch that man stream. He's too slippery. He slips through time. There could be a trait, but all of those traits, like Inferno, are like 5% in PvP World versus World because they just don't want them to be useful. You wouldn't be able to kill a support Tempest. The only way that... I mean, are you supposed to kill a support Tempest as a Condi anything in PvP, right? Like, kinda no. Well, as a Reaper, you can kill God right now because Boon Corrupt is good. And also because so many things have so many boons in PvP. That's another thing that, again, people don't realize is when they add boons to stuff, all the Boon Corrupt gets better, right? So they not only added boons to stuff in this last patch, they added Boon Corrupt to Reaper. I don't know. I also, one idea for a Grandmaster on Bladesworn, they really need to give it the barrier break thing, I'll say that much. But one of the ideas I had for a Grandmaster on Bladesworn is just double the charging time of Dragon Trigger, but, like, double the damage. What I've read, one of the best exercises is deadlift if you do it for posture and don't ego lift. But every single fucking one of my friends has injured themselves doing deadlift, so I don't deadlift. My favorite exercises right now are bench, gravity curls, like upside down curls from my weight bar, my chin-up bar, but don't do it without a safety rope or somebody watching, because you can really hurt yourself. Trying to think the other one. I'm still a really big fan of ab rollers, even though I've kind of out-leveled my ab roller. Yeah, Reaper has a lot of moving parts right now. It's like Antiquary. It has a lot of buttons and a lot of moving parts, and buttons are good. This might not be the Borderland. Might not be the play. So the idea, chat, is get into combat, do this, except I didn't do it correctly because I didn't get into combat. Fuck me. Alright, let's try again. Spear rifle, because rifle got buffed even though Deadeye got nerfed. It's full. I asked him about it. I don't want to steal his build and like give it out without his consent, but it's full Selly Tempest runes. Spear rifle. It's stupid. The fact that he had... The thing with Antiquary is it doesn't have cover conditions, it just has conditions. Like, you don't need cover conditions because every single one of your conditions kills the shit out of the opponent, right? Every one of your conditions is both a cover condition and a death condition. It's so dumb. And it just vomits them in an area and then permadaces you until you die. Like, I think he was saying it has everything in the game but fear. It's so silly. So here's the idea, chat. Put ourselves into combat, generate some flow here. Nah, that's not gonna work. Okay. Because the idea is this, dragon, then that recharges, then this, and then we have 25 might, which is a decent starting point, but I've already burned a lot of my buttons to get to this point. We definitely don't need, what's it called, Brave Stride, though, because Brave Stride is bad on this, because we already have metric loads of fury. See a person. You're going to fight me, Ferret Man? Ferret Man is not going to fight me. Your favorite workout's picking up burritos? Are they heavy burritos? We're gonna switch back to, what's it called? Miss Stranger. Miss Stranger is the only way I've found to do any kind of damage on this, because Bladesworn actually does have a lot of multi-hitting stuff with the explosions. And this is kind of where I was at before the patch as well, where, like, lifesteal good, right? Oh, her Q popped. Holy crap. Sure, all our stuff's good before we go. I like push-ups, but I only started liking push-ups when I learned how to do them correctly. If you do push-ups with a right angle with your wrist, I've said this a lot, it's really bad for your back. Like, the traditional, like, push-up like this is bad for you. Diamonds are fine because it spreads out the angle to your wrist. Wide angle's fine because, again, it spreads out the angle to your wrist. Anything right angle, pushing your wrist into the fucking ground is a really bad thing because it not only fucks up your wrist, it compresses your spine. So if you're gonna do push-ups, either do diamonds or do them on your knuckles without a closed fist. Or get those stupid perfect push-up things that rotate. Hello, Ramen. How are you? Are you still intelligent? I love that name. I like that half of the people that hang out here also are food. Swimming's great. Swimming's great for muscles. Swimming's great for cardio. Swimming's great for swimming. I'm not trying to workout shame anybody. You do what you can do if you want. Just... I was working out wrong for a big part of my life, and it took me 40 years to figure out how to not. To try to, just like build crafting, I try to pass along that knowledge. We're only at 1 ferret, but we just got an EBG. Let's see if the ferret count rises. Ooh, juicy tier 1 camp. Ferret count rising. I think Stormsinger's probably my favorite build that I've come up with so far, but the best one is still the one I came up with day 1, hour 1, which is really annoying. I've tried Demon Queen, yeah. Demon Queen's alright, because with Body Blow, if you manage, like, the stars align and you manage to CC something, you do 3 cover condis, which is Vuln, Weakness, and Poison, and they're all good. The downside of Demon Queen is Bladesworn's CC access is bad. because it's only Gunsaber 3 and Bull's Charge. And granted, Gunsaber 3 basically has a really low cooldown when you're trying to get 2 charges of it, but it's still bad. I've looked at Choir, I've tried Demon Queen, I've tried Severance, I've tried... And this is with min-maxing gear as well. The best one's still full Diviners with Flame Legion runes and either Bava Nisos or Rivers. Because building condition damage doesn't matter when you can just get perma 25 might and run plus 50% burning duration. And a lot of people are like, try arms. And I'm like, I have tried arms. I've tried arms for the last 5 years. I tried arms the first day this came out. The only thing arms adds is 800 free Condi damage and occasional unblockables. And you get so much more, both in terms of Condi, might generation, unblockable, and movement from strength. Have I tried arms? That's a really good idea, Dubious. The only reason people run arms on Condi anything is PvE, because it gives you dual wielding, because dual wielding is stupid. I should try arms. I should do some pull-ups. Did this just flip while I was running here? God damn it. I tried Fractal. I watched Kiba also try Fractal. The thing with Fractal is it only provides one additional condition, which is Torment. And it has a 20-second cooldown. You're not... I'm not saying don't suggest me stuff, because please, dear Lord, suggest me stuff, especially relics, because I'm relearning all the relics. It's just I have tried all of this. Like, you guys saw the thumbnail. I've tried all those builds that were on that thumbnail. Yeah, Condi Chrono's really good. They need to... I don't know, maybe need is a strong word, but they need to start thinking about when they add traits with no cooldowns to the game. Because that's really, really powerful. The thing with Akeem is I would need a Source of Torment. The reason Akeem works with Skullgrinder is because Skullgrinder applies Confusion, Bladesworn applies 0 Confusion, so in order to trigger the effect of Akeem, I would need Torment somewhere, which I could get from Sigils and Offhand Sword, and that's it. It would be extremely situational. The better route than Akeem is going Chill, because Chill also kills people. Like, there's really only 3 conditions that cause an enemy to die in the game right now. Thank you, Maddie, for the 18 months. Holy shit with the Prime. Do not have to do that. Very much appreciated. The 3 conditions that cause people to die in the game are Chill, Poison, and Confusion. Everything else is ancillary. Or if by some miracle you have 25 vuln on somebody. Burning really doesn't cause somebody to die. Burning's a byproduct. Like, burning is the damage that you do while they're, like, struggling to deal with the thing that's actually killing them. Burning is just bleeding, but not absolutely bad. Emob is the best. I still don't think Emob actually causes people to die in current year. I think that good players will have so much resistance or Condi clear in their build, Emob won't do anything. Like, I was trying to... I mean, I agree to disagree, but I was trying to... Maybe it's just a Bladesworn thing. I was trying to think of, like, if Bladesworn had Spellbreaker's, like, trait where it... Every time it dazed and stunned, if it emobbed a target, or if it just every single one of its explosions immobilized a target for 1/4 of a second, if it would actually have enough damage to kill somebody. And I was like, probably not. It would just be annoying. But I know that's, like... trying to apply Immobilize to a thing that's already kind of not good versus applying Immobilize to, like, Chronomancer, like Condi Chrono. Very different ball game, right? That's not balanced stance. Gonna do that about 6 times tonight. But I want to give ArenaNet credit because, like, they did fix the bugs. In my original video, what I had put forth was we need to fix the bugs, then we can talk about design, then we can talk about balance, and it needs to go in that order. And I want to stress this. I have not had a Dragon Trigger 2 fail just for no reason since the patch came out. That's incredible. Right? Like, 5 conditions to protect the 30 stacks of confusion. Yeah, we'll see if that lives. Is that PvP as well? 12? 12, I owe you money. You won a giveaway last time. Character name and account name. Whenever you can. Yeah. No rush, dude. But if you want your 50 gold. There we go. I don't know why I didn't have you added. I checked for 12. Not bad. How'd you know? I'm glad I remembered that. Just kill them before they can react. Yeah, duh. Just kill them. That's my fault. Me being bad again. Just kill them. Just do more damage, Pseudo. I still don't think you can make Bladesworn or let it do damage because stances are in the game. I think that if there's anything on Bladesworn that's going to be allowed to do damage, in quotes, it's going to have to be something that is a stun break and competes with stances, because otherwise you're going to have to nerf stances for Warrior or specifically on Bladesworn, which is not something they usually do. I don't even know if they have the tech to nerf skills. I know they have the tech to nerf different traits on different specs, but I don't know if they have the tech to split skills via spec or not. Perma stab, gross. Well, they don't really have to make it Dragon Trigger 1. They have to make, I mean, that would be nice, but they have to make Dragon Trigger worth charging at all on any spec. Currently, they're getting around the fact that Bladesworn is awkward and weird in PvP by not balancing the numbers and just basically making it do static damage at whatever bullet count you put in your gun. And that's fine, but give me something else in the meantime, I guess. Make Electric Fence a lightning field. They need to make Electric Fence a dome. A small dome, like the Antiquary size or something. A lightning field would help so you could shoot through it and do dazes. For sure. But then you're required to run Electric Fence on every build. I would more prefer, like, a trait that also made Electric Fence. So here's an idea. Here's an idea I had for Spellbreaker, right? But I think it would actually be too strong on Spellbreaker. One of the things that I really wanted, or a relic for Spellbreaker, was a relic that dropped a 1-second lightning field every time you used a meditation skill. Because then, for those who don't know, when you do a leap finisher through a lightning field, it does a daze, and it's very strong. That's actually how, like, the Spellbreaker bubble is actually a lightning field, and how it was originally designed was the shark dude from that anime, Naruto, like the dude that summons a big water dome. It's like that, where you would drop the dome and then you would like do a bunch of combos through it and do dazes, and then those dazes would immobilize and boon rip, and that's kind of how Spellbreaker was kind of like architected, right? It was this big, like, it wasn't so much an enhancement on you as an enhancement on your field, right? And it just became way too good for world versus world. And they gradually brought it back, like it wasn't a channel. It was a channel for a while, and now it's not a channel. It just drops where you put it, but it's still a channel to cast it, but you get my point. You don't have to sit there doing nothing while you channel it. It still sort of works. So if they gave Bladesworn something similar where they were just like, there's a relic now, or like there's a trait now that makes armaments, all armaments drop a 1-second lightning field or something, that would help. Right, and the reason no one uses Electric Fence in PvE is because no one uses Bladesworn in PvE, but we're getting there, right? We're getting there. One of the big criticisms, in quotes, or complaints about Warrior is that it doesn't have projectile denial, and granted, there are lots of relics you can take now for that, or Reflect. I found out that Relic of Earth yesterday just applies Magnetic Aura to your entire fucking subgroup, which is insane. But, you know, one thing Bladesworn could potentially have over Spellbreaker or Paragon support, or even Berserker support, because that's a thing for some reason, is that it does have projectile denial with Electric Fence. That'd be cool, but then Bladesworn needs all the tools to make it compete with something like Firebrand. So we'll see. We'll see what they do. But yeah, they need to make Dragon Trigger worth charging in PvP somehow, and it needs to be like some way that competes with stances. Because if Overcharged Cartridges is a stun break, even in its current form, which I don't think is very good for PvP, I would absolutely take it. Even if it was 1 ammunition. Hello, Daikaru. Hello, how are you? You enjoying World vs. World Rush? I did not make that. I am bad. It's weird on World vs. World Rush week. I really want to try PvP. I've been itching to play PvP because I want to try, like, lab Condi Bladesworn in it more. See, I have a feeling that, yeah, he's just going to boon rip all the might that I just applied, so Dragon Spike Mine is worthless. Ugh. Disgusting. All this setup for nothing. I also really don't like that if you, like, something blocks your projectile, you just do nothing. Like, it doesn't explode and multi-hit and stuff. Because they don't pierce, and either they should pierce or they should explode on contact. That would be lovely. He knows his spacing, I'll give him that. Enjoying this duel immensely. I'm enjoying this duel marginally less now that I'm dying. Good fight, sir. Thank you. That was fun. I'm letting him live. Chill. Okay, we're not letting Pseudo live. Why do I ever try? For the Lush Force nerf, you're able to run Rifle Sworn in place of Vert. Write that on the forums, dude. I'm gathering feedback to, you know, hopefully write something. Format Sigil would have been good here. I don't think anything outspecs Agility Sigils. Agility Sigil and Cleansing are, at least while you're running Strength, I think are mandatory. Unless you're running Combat Stimulant, and Combat Stimulant is kind of throwing already. Because it's really, really good, but if fighting Soup's Antiquary is any indication, you're gonna have... It's not gonna do anything that Defiant Stance doesn't also do, I guess, is the way to put it. But I don't want to just, like, lather my opinions over chat. Like, if you guys have different opinions, I'm not the main character of existence, so tell me I'm wrong, please. Update Helix? Does Helix need an update? Helix is working for me. Helix has never needed an update in the entire, I don't know, 8 years that I've used it. It won't work for you? I launched my game with Helix. I don't know. Maybe it's just an issue with Helix in the current build. Try re-downloading it. It's like Heulx, right? It's not Helix. I haven't tried to multi-box with it today. Maybe that could be a thing. Occasionally it breaks. Yeah, Heulx. That sounds right. Small healing numbers are from Miss Stranger Relic. That's why, that's what I was talking about. Like, Bladesworn has a lot of multi-hitting stuff. Miss Stranger basically gives you the Lifesteal Vampirism aura from Necromancer. It's very, very good. Oh my god. What just happened? Oh, okay, it was just Maddie gifting a sub. I was like, what the fuck is a hype train? I need to learn Twitch, man. I need to learn how to more effectively beg for money. Like Knives. Sorry. I love giving him strays just for no reason. Yeah, it's like, I don't know. If it doesn't work, that sucks. I'll have to troubleshoot that tomorrow. But yeah, you see you do like an extra 120 damage. And it's basically either Stormsinger or Helix. And the reason I don't like Stormsinger in World vs. World is like Stormsinger should do more damage on paper because of all your micro hops. Also, by the way, what's it called? This Flicker Step now triggers Stormsinger when it shouldn't. Only forced movement should trigger Stormsinger, but here we are. I don't know if it's the same for all the teleports on Willbender or whatever. If so, welcome to hell again. But Stormsinger should do more damage because it can crit. The thing with it is it doesn't end up doing more damage usually in World vs. World because Miss Stranger goes through armor and protection and all damage modifiers. Where the fuck are the fights? And also heals you. Like, lifesteal as a concept in this game is kind of busted. I kind of don't want to just Zerg, but I feel like it's either going to be all these small groups or Zerging. So maybe I try to, like, I don't know. Made a sword, Relic of Watch build. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, arms, cooldown reduction, electric fence on there. That sounds right. Yeah. What role to play if you constantly have a higher ping? Probably DPS, but like an accessibility DPS, so like a simpler build. Bravewing. There's Snowcrows, I think it's .com. Snowcrows has a bunch of accessibility builds that are very few buttons, so they're harder to screw up. PvP World vs. World? Something you're comfortable with so you can react to timings, I guess. There's my friend Paper Roll. If you look up his channel, he plays with really high ping. And he plays on like the world's worst laptop, I recall. So you could hit him up, but he plays basically just played years and years and years of Ranger and got used to the delay. Even without scaring, Vampirism gives you 18 to 22 hits. What's the cooldown on Vampirism? Is it 10? $20. Not bad. If you can find, again, a simpler support build, like probably a Paragon would be really good. Celestial Paragon would be very good. You'd have the starting gear. You could just gear that out if you have all the expansions. If you don't, trying to think, Scourge would also be good. I don't know how new to the game or what your access to gear is, but you can buy most of the gear from the starting merchant as well. The big golem vendor at the spawn point. Yeah. Chat, do you have any suggestions? What build would you play if you had unbelievably high ping, especially for this week? I would think support would be okay, but you would want to play something where you always have access to your support buttons and you wouldn't have to wait on like weapon swaps and stuff. And this is the downside of running this. Probably gonna get dumpstered here. Arma here. I can move, I forgot that. Heal Tempest? Heal Tempest is probably a good one because you always have your overloads and stuff. Did I just roll backwards into the thing? Jesus Christ, ArenaNet. Any kind of normalization for that ability would be lovely. I'm probably dead in Ritualist Hell. Not dead. Thank you for the heals. It's very nice of him. Like how Bull's charge put me past him there. People need to get better at dodging Dragon Trigger. Heal Tempest, but Dagger 4 autocast. Can you autocast Dagger 4? That's crazy. I didn't know that. Any Necro build? There you go. I think Scourge would probably be a pretty good one. It's not brain dead, he's asking about ping. I don't know what would survive having large ping. I think probably Scourge. Scourge would do fine, like Blood Magic, some kind of supporty staff Scourge. It also just like play Reaper and press 4. Where's the longbow? This is World versus World, sir. But check out Jancis as well. He's been enjoying theory crafting again. How'd Weaver land, man? I still haven't had a chance to try it. I've been in Bladesworn world. Have I tried arms? That's a really good idea, Bingley. Thanks. I didn't think of that. Am I playing on a controller? I am playing on a controller. Thank you for the follow. All of my files are downloadable from the YouTube, so if you too would like to make a terrible life decision, you can grab them and try them. I mean, I'm happy. I hope it went well for them. I hope they too discovered in real time that longbow is a melee weapon on warrior, according to the devs. Steam controller doesn't show up as an X input device. If you've discovered a magical workaround for that, no, let me know. See, C12, if they just made literally every skill on warrior unblockable, which is a definitely serious suggestion, that would solve the problem. F5 Unravel with Bavanisa is exceptionally busted. Is F5 still a stance? Okay, I have a question, 12. How did they drop a fire field as a Bladesworn? This is not meant to be mean. I'm just curious. Because if they know something I don't, I would like to know. Right. Where's the fire field on longbow? Right. Guys, where's the fire field on longbow? Okay, what do you get on Bladesworn? Longbow. Okay, longbow. Right. You said longbow. Uh-huh. Okay, if you're using a longbow, you can't use a torch. Okay. Bladesworn, I don't want to pseudo-splain builds to you. Longbow's fire field is on the F1. On Bladesworn, you don't get an F1 skill. And you don't get an off weapon set. So, if they found a way to drop a fire field on a Bladesworn on a longbow, I would like to know about that because that would be very cool. You're right. It's probably the mortar kit. I didn't think of that. Chomp's fucking 6D chessing out here. Yeah, belief. That's probably it. I think they should have more relics that drop fields and stuff. No, I know that. I was just saying somebody was talking about like a streamer taking longbow to World vs. World and the fire field being reflected. And I don't think that's possible, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong on the internet before. Which legendary torch are you working on? Right, the bow F1 can be reflected, but they said Bladesworn was taking longbow to World vs. World. Bladesworn does not get an F1 longbow skill. Jesus, chat. I'm gonna have an aneurysm. You're right, he was probably taking arms. 12, I'm not making fun of you, I'm making fun of the rest of chat at this point. I mean, their shots were definitely getting reflected for sure. The thing with the Berserker Primal Burst is it's actually not a projectile, which is why people were using it in Zergs for so long. It was doing hideous amounts of power damage to the point they actually had to target cap nerf it, which they have only recently also done to something, which was the Untamed Spore thing, because it was boon ripping better than anything else in the game. And target cap is something I've only ever seen them screw with when they literally cannot think of another way to nerf a skill. Core Warrior's actually pretty good for Condi. Him Death has a nasty, rabid hybrid thing that I hate fighting. Just because dual wielding is actually really good on Core Warrior. Yeah, Fog's been labbing some Renegade stuff, but it's just not Conduit. And Conduit is really busted because it has a cooldown or a trait that cools down legends faster. Ferret, I saw that. It not only has a trait that gives you infinite like Revenant juice on Revenant, it has a trait that actually cools down your legend swap faster, so you also have more Revenant juice faster and get all your Revenant juice back. And that trait shouldn't be in the game. Yeah, Renegade is probably more Zerg oriented for sure. The one thing that could be reflected on Bladesworn is Electric Fence. As I was telling Jancis, like, Electric Fence on Bladesworn is actually low-key kind of OP, this thing. But if you see when I use it, it actually throws out a projectile, and that projectile is not unblockable. And that's also the biggest problem with, like, Support Sworn right now, is a lot of their healing skills target allies, like the spin around will cleanse conditions from allies, but it shoots out a projectile, and they, to my knowledge, didn't make those projectiles unblockable like they did on Engineer to make the class fucking work. So, maybe one day. Barrett, I saw that. Yeah, 7.5 second Revenant swap is... I know why they did it. They wanted to, like, synergize with Relic of the Warrior, but it's psychotic. If anything, it should be, like, 20%, and it really shouldn't be 20%. It should be, like, not in the game. It was a fun experiment, but if it... So I was talking to Homage about it, and he was like... Because, again, he plays Revenant, and he knows what's OP on it, and he plays it well. And we were talking, we were like, okay, how do we balance this trait so it can still exist in the game? Because like, ANET has this thing where they, like, really hate removing traits that aren't named Daring Dragon. and we were like, okay, how do we balance this trait? And I was like, well, if it was still like 25% legend reduction, but also you got 25% less energy, so you only get like 37 energy, then it would probably be like all right. Ferret, that's 4. Really trucking on the ferrets. Relic of the Warrior is a similar thing, but for weapon swap. It's 25% reduced weapon swap, so it puts it down to 7.5 seconds for most things. Actually, I think it might be just 2.5 seconds. Fuck, we're gonna look this up. I wanna know. The funny thing about Relic of the Warrior is it also doesn't work on Bladesworn in PvP. 25%. So on Warrior right now, that would only reduce it to... What the fuck is 25% of 5? 1.25, it would reduce it to 3.75 seconds. Yeah. You guys are nerds. I love it. Well, beat you, dude. If anyone, I'm giving 12 more money. Is it possible to get World vs. World Scrim claim tickets faster? If you do... Danny, sorry I missed your question. If you do the Warclaw track that you have to buy from the spawn point, you can get tickets faster. I don't know if the Rush has claim tickets in it. If you don't want to play World vs. World, just pop all your boosters. I think it's like 2 hours to get 2 Gifts of Battle or something insane. Just wait for me to drag Sandream into World vs. World, and then you can play with us. This is the vendor, by the way, the dude in here who's probably left, who was asking about the starting gear. Did Warrior Relic change with the Fast Hands baseline patch now? It just got better, I guess, sort of. It may have, because I can't remember which one applied first. If it was the 5-second reduction or Relic of the Warrior. I think when you had both, it would chunk it. My brain was saying... So I guess sort of. My brain is saying before the patch, it would actually reduce your cooldown to 2.5 seconds. Yeah. But again, there's like 6,000 bugs on Warrior Kale, so I was thinking that it would reduce it to 2.5. I guess I could put it on and we could science this. Hold, please. And right now to not have to level up Armorsmith? Why? It'll take you half the duration of this stream to level up Armorsmith if you use a guide. We both know that's true. I can switch though, so I could switch to her World vs. World group, so I'd assume you would be in hers. Or Kunai's. Alright, it says 5, that's wrong. It's 2.5. Which is a lie, so it may take 25% off the total, which is still reading as 10 because everything in this game is coded individually, so they probably didn't change the base total because they didn't want to deal with it, so I guess it's still 2.5 on Warrior. Which is funny, because with Alacrity, you can get that down to like 2 seconds, basically. You can just not have weapon swap on Warrior, which you think would be good, and isn't, because Warrior weapons are bad. And all of their power is balanced around their burst skill. I'm not hating this, though. Jesus Christ, Pseudo. Click the right tab. Thank you. Fuck me. Alright, we did it. I'm proud of all of us, especially you, chat. We produced knowledge. We regurgitated knowledge. We are the owl pellet of knowledge right now, Kale, I would say. Where it was redigested. That's what I would call this. Also, knowledge is generous. I would say. This is pointless information you should never put into your brain. Have I tried arms? No, I haven't. No, that's a really good idea. Was it to try arms, Bingley? I hate all of you. Because Nub beat you to it over on YouTube. That's how I knew. Like, not a giveaway question. What do you guys seriously think we're going to get for the next expansion for a selling point? Because it can't just be we rebalanced all the sigils in the game, right? Because that won't sell an expansion. Like, I'll care, Kale will care, 12 will care, Bingley will care when he finds the one that does the most damage, and nobody else will care, right? Like, I think it's gonna be a new weapon, but I don't want it to be a new weapon because they're running out of fucking weapons. So, I don't know. Alright, we're gonna go to the back. Wanna kill something. Guy's gettable-ish. I hit him. I got quickness off that.
Too many people want this shit. It's not enough you're talented. You have to fucking grab it. I'm sick of being adequate. Another college graduate just looking for an advocate to hire me to
new mount. Knew about Ellie trying to play it. Jancis! Somebody's asking about Elementalist. Know you're here? You might not be here. Jancis knows about Elementalist. I know of Elementalist and I know how it's balanced and plays, but I cannot play it. Somebody's asking about Elementalist. Get on the phone. Go follow this guy in Twitch if you want to learn Elementalist. Lurg. Or Ludran. Sorry, I missed that. He very good. He a princess of the arena. He very good. Underwater would be bold. That's what I think they might do, is do the lead boots idea, but they would have to like rebalance water completely. Everybody wants dual greatsword on warrior. Tenth profession. I don't think they'll do that just because I don't think it'll fit in the UX. And ANET has a really... Like, the reason I kind of ironclad knew they were going to do elite specs for this round was because there was a space for it in the stupid little elite spec square when you take traits. Getting rid of water combat. Great. I like water combat. It's just really imbalanced. I would hope that if they do Spear Gun or Trident, they don't just give, like, Spear Gun to everything. They give, like, some things Trident and some things Spear Gun. Even if it's just a purely cosmetic edition. Get rid of all the water. We're working on that with all the AI. They could reuse all weapons on land. Honestly, I would have preferred to have Warrior's Spear from underwater on land instead of the spear we got. I'm not kidding. The spear we got, the only reason it worked was because it was hideously overtuned on release, and it does basically nothing that Rifle doesn't do. But I'm also biased as shit because I played Bladesworn. It's good on, like, Spellbreaker, but... And I know people really like it on Core Warrior, where you can just throw the level 3 burst and do, like, infinite damage, but... I'm not a huge fan of how it's designed, personally. I was really hoping they would just reuse the underwater versions. Because Warrior's Spear is underwater is actually pretty cool. It has a dash, it has a pull, it has good damage. Trident Spear should have always been the same. There's a lot of development debt in the original Guild Wars like 2 development cycle that happened. Like, they put a lot of eggs in the basket of underwater combat being a thing. And to their credit, it probably has the best underwater combat of any MMO. It's just really underutilized, unfortunately. I was coping that with Soto when they developed the really cool tech, where you can put water at different parts of the map, instead of just having a static water layer, that they would reuse that for something. And it just has not materialized. Maybe they were also coping that they would reuse it for something like that. I'm so stupid that I didn't select fucking World versus World as my weeklies for this week. It was such a misplay. Oh yeah, Spear F1 was super busted. I mean, Spear just in general on Warrior was super busted. But they nerfed it twice, and then Warrior cried forever, and including myself, and it never recovered, in my opinion. Like, it's still good. It's probably where its power level should be, but it's not interesting. And considering that all the other classes, like, for some reason, Spear gives AoEs that hit the world, how are these things still not dead? Like, it doesn't really give you anything that, nor should it, to be clear, that the other weapons don't give you. But, you know, Mesmer's Spear AoEs hit the world, Guardian's Spear AoEs hit the world and always function in their empowered state. What does Warrior do? Well, it's a really good CC and damage weapon and nothing else, just like all of the other fucking weapons on Warrior. If anything, it should have been a melee Condi weapon, but we're here now. Weeklies is your World vs. World is your weeklies? That's good. You should live here forever. Yeah, maybe. I think there's hope for underwater combat in this game. Especially considering how much development budget they seem to have gotten out of nowhere recently. I think A-Net's been cooking on a lot of stuff for a really long time, and we've been served the appetizer and part of the main course with all the like marketing stuff that came with Guild Wars 3 being announced. And now I think that they've got maybe one more entree and some dessert in the hopper. At least I'd hope they didn't blow their load too fast. I mean, yeah, but they also do sort of update underwater skills, but not really. Like, they updated some of the Bladesworn stuff underwater. They just didn't update all of it. It wouldn't... I mean, if they never put water in PvE or PvP, they wouldn't have to worry about that. And if they did a really... Like, this past patch was genuinely really good for balance. It's just that everybody was expecting, like, a super A-Net, like, is bad at their jobs Omega buff patch, where they buff everything initially and scale it back. And to be clear, that was a joke. A-Net aren't bad at their jobs. It's just that they usually don't have enough time to cook on balance patches. So they do this thing where they'll, like, clearly overbuff skills and see what's overperforming and then nerf everything. And this past patch, that really didn't happen. Like, this past patch was really more of a, let's introduce a couple playstyles for things like Bladesworn and Engineer and stuff. To be clear, Hollowsmith is ridiculous now. But they did that, and now they're probably like, okay, let's see where this shit is before we do, like, more. And that's how all balance patches really should be, but people are definitely not used to that. Killing Flog, that's dark. There's a lot of underwater stuff in the initial maps. Condi Mesmer's a little unhinged, to be clear, but maybe we'll get there. This guy really wants my butt. I should stop being nice to him. I'm in rifle. Go away. Leave me alone. What hit me? God. I don't want to fight you. Go away. I need another fucking pistol, chat. You know, every stream I say that. Also slow, so I'm not going to be able to outrun him because I don't have agility on right now. Fine, we'll fight him in rifle. I'm done. Rifle actually may be better for this 1v1. I didn't even think of that. Not hating Dragon Spike Mine. Just not good. You have so many dodges, my guy. How many energy sigils are you running? Now he wants to run away, fine. As long as I can get out of combat. Hello, mech. It is going great. Bro, go to your house. That was fun. Warrior's staff was good, and I missed the block. It's just that it was way overtuned because it was every other weapon but better on release. The burning damage? The burning damage is great. Would you believe I have basically 0 Condi damage in my build? It's all might. What are we talking about, 12? Sorry, I missed that. No, dueling, supposed to be about 25 loss. Buff increase the cooldown. It far exceeds the old build in single target damage. Gotcha. Scrolled up, we did it. I need to make Cloud Conure. It's a cool projectile. The dry animation's kind of sick. We can out of combat when I have no movement speed because I don't have an agility sigil on my rifle because it's a stacking weapon. Hey, I'm glad you people's week are going well. English is stupid. Bar, I think you have too many projects. I think you need to pick one and finish it. No offense. Have I thought about doing group-based content such as quick play raids or fractals? We could do fractals. I used to do that. I'm not gonna do that while I'm queued for ABG, but yeah, absolutely. I try to get my 5 quick play fractals done every week. It's just that my numbers, you know, viewer numbers tank when that happens, and to some degree I don't care about that, but also to some degree I want to stream like content people want to watch. I am world versus world roamer, man. But I get it. Variety's good, and I do try to do some PvE here and there because I'm trying to get all the. I'm one of the lunatics that I'm trying to get all the 15 or 14 colors for Akasa because I really like it. So the best way to do that is really just do your 5 quick play fractals a week. I should do more. If my friends ever, we just literally heard the song. If my friends ever come back to the game in any capacity, like when they start doing Hall of Monuments, I might start putting groups together for like raids and stuff. Because I have a lot of friends who raided back in the day and have not touched the game since. Who do I think the region of new expansion would be? We got island, getaway, desert. I want another island. We haven't had a solid new fire region outside of Draconis Mons, and that's not really a fire region because it's full of water. I guess Draconis Mons and Ember Bay, which is also kind of water. I think ArenaNet could also do something weird. Like if they would have to develop a completely new template, like palette for it, but they could do like space. We haven't had a really weird like We already have a lot of the textures, I guess, with VOE, but we haven't had a really, like, weird space expansion. A true Norn expansion? Icebreed Saga was the Norn expansion, unfortunately. Or fortunately. I want a beach episode. I want to be a little bit of a nutsack and suggest a beach episode, because I think the commander deserves it. Because I was really expecting the end, like the post-VOE or post-EOD story to be a fucking, like, batshit rave party. And instead we dealt with our, like, I love End of Dragons to death, but at the tunnel, and then we dealt with our feelings and we're sad again. And it was like, dude, you have been building to this for 10 fucking years. Can we, like, let the commander chill and, like, get something? More Soto-ish map. I could do that. No, I get empathy, and I also get, like, the weird they're gone but not, like, sort of mentality that exists in Guild Wars 2. But also I find, like, a lot of the idiosyncrasies really funny. Like, the thing, I understand that Norns with Dragon Bash have, like, respect for their foe, like they killed the dragon and it's a triumphant thing. But again, imagine if we won World War II and there was a giant hologram of Hitler just, like, flying over the festival. Like, that'd be a little weird because Kralkatork probably killed a fuckload of people. So, I don't know. It's a video game at the end of the day. What do you want? Like, everything's not going to be tonally perfect. But just like a beach episode, man. Yeah, and the Norn are chill with it, but it's still like a party for all the races, especially like the ones that hate dragons like Char. Just bulls charge the shit out of that wall. Not hating Dragon Spike Mine. I teleported before that pull went off. That's bullshit. Please die from Condis. Thank you. What is my favorite NPC in Guild Wars 2? The guy who trains you for Bladesworn because he's a Revengeance reference. His name's like Slipstream Jam or some shit. And one of my favorite Reddit posts ever was like that guy, and then like somebody dressed as Raiden, and it was like, "Hello, Slipstream Jam. I'm Jacques the Reaper," and it was so fucking funny. All right, fine. I'll get on my cat. I didn't know you could cheese with the War Claw like that. I knew you could do the jump, but I'm bad at the jump. If you're talking voiced NPC... I don't want to cop out and say Vlox just because of his insult. How do I do this, chat? Seems like an exploit. I know you can jump it, though. So it's not an exploit. Okay, here. And then up. Nope. Yeah. There's the Bladesworn space program's very funny. You could do it with rocket boots on NG as well. Ah, I did it. We're cheating, chat. I know this isn't technically an exploit because you can also just jump that. I'm just really bad at it. Don't break the game too hard, chat. Dwarven expansion would be cool, but we already got Thunderhead. Damn, Chomp's online. She getting crunk on a Wednesday. Drunk streams in the middle of the week. Oh my god. I think it's this song that's melting my brain. There I go, Dragon Spike Mine. That's so many steps to be able to do, like, what I feel like some other classes can do with, like, one button, where it's 20 Might and Perma Fury. Sorry, what you asked me? Immersible, what did you ask me? I'm sorry I missed it. Or expansion would be interesting for the one following the release of GW3. This man. His might stacks. I gotta talk to Paper Roll about New Druid and how it feels and stuff. I tried asking Muck, but I think he was busy. World vs. World Champion progress earned. So good. I do feel like that some of these special World vs. World PvP events would benefit from having, like, special reward tracks that happen only during them as well. I think that'd be kind of cool. Like, one-time doable reward track, log in and get it. Bonus tickets or something. Yeah, just something that's, like, normally... Because what is this? You think about, like, who's your target audience for all these events are, right? And, like, it's people generally that don't usually play those game modes, right? It's the World vs. World one specifically is really because, like, to get people to get their gift of battle, right? You get 2 gifts of battle in the time it basically takes you to get, like, 2/3 of one. Ooh, this is a war. I might have to lock in a little bit here. So it gets people the gift of battle, and same thing with PvP. It gets them through some reward tracks, whatever achievements they want to do. It's not really for the World vs. World players. You had an ad when I laughed at your joke? Oh, yeah. There you go. If you have ads, come over to YouTube. YouTube doesn't have ads. It should just have the initial, not YouTube nonsense. And they specifically run whatever minimum YouTube ads are required for YouTube to continue existing. To a Reaper. I've heard these are good right now. That's too many boys. That's far too many. That's far too many boys. Some of the holiday festivals are really good. Like, if you just care about money, Dragon Bash is great, because you can just sell all the coffers. Same thing with Winter's Day. Like, guilds despise it, and PvT guilds tolerate it. Jesus fucked playlist, why are you always fighting me? Yeah, and the people they recruit don't stick around. It's the same thing when I recruit roamers from PvE, really. You kind of have to go where the people are. I need to fight my playlist a little bit here. Reckoning. What? You're not going to play the one I clicked on? Thank you. You know what? Down and Under's better anyway. But it's good. It gets people into other parts of the game. Sure. I like that. I'm in favor of that more than anything else. I'm try 2v1 here. Be very difficult with a hammer spellbreaker. 3v1? Seems quite tough. Fine. I quit. Too much effort. See you, Bingley. Sorry for the late start. VOD will be up tomorrow. Have a good night. What do you guys think the last legendary will be for VOE? I think it's going to be a one-handed sword because everything in the game can use one-handed sword. Or a spear. Another spear. Or whatever next expansion's going to introduce. But I think it's probably one-handed sword. You're getting practice with Bladesworn due to the new PvE players doing it. To give the new rush rewards. I'll get it. Rush is great for testing builds on perfectly average players, but unfortunately, most of the immovable rocks you'll fight after the rush don't really care. I would love Mechanist to get some quality of life changes next if they have any budget for it. One thing I really want from, like, you think about, like, what are the changes that are achievable, and then, like, what are the changes you would introduce if you had literally infinite development budget, right? And then usually the changes land somewhere in the middle, closer to the first one, with ArenaNet, unfortunately. Or fortunately, they're pretty clever with some of the budget they get. But, like, what does Mechanist really need? It needs its tool belt skills back. And it needs, like, it kind of needs better ways to customize the mech than traits. So if they make the skills that you can choose on mech, like they split the difference, and instead of making like all of your different utilities and stuff affect the mech, which would be like the dream, and then the elite skill is like you get in the fucking mech and Pacific Rim it up for a little bit. Instead of doing that, if they still let you get in the mech as like a button, and if they put Shift Signet, not the teleport part, but just like as a passive that you have to take, like basically the copy boons thing to your mech needs to be baseline on Mechanist. I did a whole video on Mechanist, period. That just needs to be baseline on Mechanist. And then the teleport part can be on Shift Signet, right? You can spec into that. But instead of like Untamed, where like 50% of your power's on the pet and 50% of the power's on the mech, Mechanist, almost all of the fucking power's on the mech. So instead of like having to take Shift Signet and then having one less button on your bar, if they make the copy boons thing baseline, let you select which mech skills you get, and then like, I don't know, give it something weird like you can get in the mech as another button, and you get like mech skills, but it has a really long cooldown, or that's now your elite skill. That would be great. Yeah. I know they have a perma stow mech trait. And I was trying to make a build that was just basically like always keep the mech stowed and only use it for, you know, killing people, but like dropping it on them, that did not work out. I hate that Dragon Spike Mine doesn't remove Immobilize like everything else in the game does. I'm so dead. I fucking didn't detarget the guy. As me being bad. No, there's bones for it. Like, a lot of the bones on Mechanist, like a lot of the bones on Bladesworn are there. It's just that this patch was much less of a buff patch, like people were expecting, and really just introduced two new playstyles for Bladesworn, and what they need to do if they're going to finish both Bladesworn and Mechanist is Bladesworn, they need to make the Grandmasters not suck. And Mechanist, they need to take a lot of the trade-offs from Mechanist away. And the boon copying thing needs to be just in your kit. In my opinion. Now, we've done 2 design videos out of, I don't know how many moving parts are in this game now, 45? Well, the idea of 2, like, no mech Mechanist would be, like, instead of having all of your power be in the mech, like, 70% of your power would be in the Mechanist, which would be probably the default PvP trait line, which, again, is a terrible way of designing stuff, but here we are. Like, if you took this Grandmaster trait, like, your mech would be weaker, but you would be stronger. So, like, a lot of the signets would, like, double apply to the Mechanist. and stuff like that. The other problem is, and again, I mentioned this in the video, Mechanist in PvP was designed around having Alacrity. It was. And the Signets were buffed out the ass to compensate for it not having tool belt skills or another weapon set, because you need that on Engineer. Look at Amalgam. Their buttons are very, very good. The problem with that is, when a button just insta-kills the enemy, that's too good. See Dragon Trigger. So they nerfed it, and just like Bladesworn, it never got put back in the spotlight, but maybe one day. Again, Bladesworn is ballistically popular. I don't know if you guys have seen all the people trying it this week and realizing it's still not, like, the best, but it's not as bad as people think. It just, we're getting there. The design or budget limitations. Yeah. Traits that affect the Mechanist a little bit, it helped. That man really wanted to keep his stacks. What are you? You are a relic of the Thief Reaper. I feel bad. I'm so not doing the fucking thing I need to do. I don't feel bad anymore. Jesus Christ. It really hurt. I feel bad until I fucking lose to this guy. Holy shit. He's gonna die? Yeah, he's gonna go down to burning, and his friend will res him, so I'll be alright. Oh, that bug. Okay, so there's a new bug that after you use Dragon Trigger, your character model will be facing forward, but you won't actually move forward. Like, if you try to dodge or if you try to break step, it just shoots you backward. I think the hitbox on the character is actually desynced from the animation or whatever they use. Like the wireframe. Oh, torches are fucking beautiful. It's still baffling to me that Ellie doesn't have torch. No, Conduit F2 and 3 explode worlds. They don't just give you stats. Maybe in PvE they just give you stats, but in PvP they uninstall your game. That's the other thing, is everybody wants different weapons on Ellie. How do you have a water torch or an earth torch? How do you throw lightning? Captain Pedantic. I thought you were going to bed. That was a different chatter. You're all Bingley to me. I probably did, because I probably said goodnight to you. I just assume you're always leaving. Me projecting. I'm sorry, I need to be nicer to my chat. Everybody but Bingley. Sorry. If only he would give me Twitch Prime sub. Don't. Give them to Chomp or Kunives or somebody with kids. Said that as a joke, to be clear. Almost Armorsmith 500? Hell yeah. Go for 502. They could do another round of weird weapons. That was kind of my biggest problem with Soto, is a lot of the weapons weren't, like, interesting. Like, Pistol on Ellie was really interesting, but it's one of the most over-designed things in the game. To the point where it's kind of like Bladesworn, it can never really be meta or good because it's psychotic. Like the amount of things you can do on Ellie Pistol is like silly. So it kind of can't ever be really like really good. Plus it's a Condi weapon. Spear is a much better pistol than Pistol is. And it's still, like, I don't play Thief. I still find it really unfortunate that Axe, like, Thieves only got main hand Axe when they really needed Axe and what NG needed. Like, the NG shortbow skills are fine, taking the fact that AoE, like, Vomit isn't really healthy for the game. Like, in current Guild Wars 2, they're, like, okay and good. But they really needed, like, all of those skills, but with, like, Dagger on throwable cartridges instead of a shortbow. In my opinion, because what they needed really was a better main hand weapon. Or sorry, a better offhand weapon. And what Thieves needed was a weapon to synergize with Scepter so that they could have a real support spec. Yeah, and Scepter never got fixed for Revenant. There actually are good Scepter builds. It's just that it was, like, why is it a lightsaber that does no damage? It's very odd. Like, the idea of Scepter is really cool. It just, again, the cleave is too big for it. Like, it's a meme weapon, right? It's kind of like Gunsaber, where its base design is too good with the just ballistic cleave that it has on the auto attack, so it can't do damage. I've seen one guy make it work, like, really effectively in top 10 on EU in PvP. And that's way niche. Yeah, the cleave is too OP. Its AoE is already ridiculous and stupid in this game. And the auto attack is just AoE cleave. It would have to be like 2 targets or something. And again, that's not the best way of balancing stuff, and I know ANET knows that. Every single fucking time, dude. Rifle.exe happens, Pseudo gets jumped by 20 people, or a fucking evoker. Christ. So much damage, chat. Do so much damage. Lagged? Okay, I'm dead. Oh, he's gonna burn to death. I'm happy with that. If he didn't have a friend, I might actually be able to vengeance. I need to buy a legendary pistol, or make one. What's really good about the World vs. World Rush chat, and I forgot to remember to mention this until now. If you want a legendary weapon, put in a buy order now for any Gen 1 weapon, because they are gonna be flooding the fucking market. Because what stops a lot of PvE people from making Gen 1 legendary weapons is, no joke, Gift of Battle. If you want any weapon in the game, dude, just buy order it now from Gen 1. You'll be good. Almost guarantee it. So the thing with Vindicator is Vindicator isn't OP right now. Energy sigils are OP. Cloud. Vindicator is actually pretty well balanced. Like, if you take all those specs, like Paragon's overperforming, Bladesworn's like it's underperforming a little bit. Like Berserker and Spellbreaker are always probably like the most balanced. Conduit overperforming, Herald underperforming. Vindicator probably where things should be in terms of balance. Energy sigils are stupid. Energy sigils need to be deleted yesterday from the game along with Speed Relic. And honestly, Bava Nisos as well, because I'm tired of them balancing classes around it, but that's just my opinion. I don't think any of those things will happen, but if I was gonna pick one, I would remove energy sigils from the game, period, and fucking yeet it. Well, Bava Nisos, like, I was trying to think of, like, what they usually do when they chunk 2 condition cleanses to 1 and make it still, like, fair, right, Jances? And I think if they did, like, the cleanse 1 condition, but give you like 3, because there's already a barrier on Stance Relic, right? And it's bad. It's like 400 barrier. If they did like, they can't do 1 damaging and non-damaging condition because that almost makes it better. They need to do like cleanse a condition and give you like 400 barrier if you cleansed a condition or something. But like Bava Nisos is dumb. And it's not even dumb on Weaver, it's dumb on fucking Luminary. And I'm tired of them balancing Warrior around it. Just get rid of it. Because everything just has stances now. Amalgam has stances, Luminary has stances, fucking Warrior has stances. It's like everything's a fucking stance. They said that even didn't make any sense on Luminary. It's just like, whatever. We're just labeling it because we're tired of like not having relic interactions. Give them armaments, I dare you. But yeah, I would nerf energy sigils down to PvP numbers at least. Nerf Speed Relic down to PvP numbers or close to, and Bava Nisos just goes in the dumpster. Well, Soul Beast, like, has stances, but they almost make sense because it has a trait to, like, share them, right? I'm not saying stances make, like, balanced stance. I didn't do anything other than the blinking thing on my bar. I'm not saying it makes a whole bucket of sense, but At least Soul Beast has animations for it. Weaver. Also, at least the Weaver ones also have animations. I don't know. The Luminary ones make no sense. They should be called something else. They should be called Armaments or Exceeds. If we're gonna not relabel old stuff. I still really want a real reveal relic because Shackles sucks too, but that might be too OP. It was so weird to me that they put Relic of Shackles in the game and it has the worst trigger known to mankind on it. Again, I don't want to sound too negative because that's what I'm hearing out of my own voice. Like, I really do like this last patch, and I think ANET did a very, very good job. Just, you know, suggestions, I guess. The commands on Paragon, I think you mean? Or do you mean using shouts on Paragon Cloud? Because, to me, the commands on Paragon... like, there's like 1.5 of them that make sense. The heal one makes sense to me, and the immobilize one makes sense to me. Because what those do is they effectively let you flavor your burst skills. And I really, really like the on-hit with burst skill trigger for the reverberation on the command on Paragon. I think that's really, really good. And I would have liked... Okay, you're talking about shouts. Well, I'm still going to go on this tangent. I would have liked it if all of the commands on Paragon to complement the shouts were offensive, if that makes any sense. So that you could, instead of having something that was baked into your kit, like a dragon trigger on the burst skill that just changes it, or Spellbreaker, most of their burst skills, or a lot of them synergizing with no escape, or at least a lot of your setups synergizing with no escape, you could flavor your burst skills as a warrior because that is your class mechanic. Something like that. I don't know. We'll see. Patch was really good overall, and I'm going to be really curious to see what, if anything, they do with the next one. And after World vs. World Rush, I honestly really kind of expect one because they usually get a lot of data during these things, and we'll see what's overperforming. I've heard Bladesworn's just killing it in Zergs, which is weird to me, but hey, here we are. Full glass power Bladesworn spamming Dragon Trigger 3. Very weird. Yeah, Troubadour can kind of use commands the way I thought commands would be. It's a decent point. Oh, did they just reuse the coding from... what's it called? Mending? For whatever it is on Paragon, the heal skill? They must have. They must have just made a Mending AoE. God, they need to hire Hugh. They need to get Hugh back. God damn it. Are you serious? Does it still trigger peak performance? Because I know that they've started going through a lot of those traits, like where the torch trait used to be on Warrior, it would still do like torch things if you took it. They just found one on Reaper, or just had the development budget to fix the one on Reaper that affected the Greatsword stuff. They've been, like, low-key fixing a lot of bugs that haven't made it into patch notes, but also that have made it into patch notes, so I wouldn't be surprised if it did once upon a time, but they have fixed it. Like, once upon a time, dual wielding affected Gunsaber, and that's before they even buffed dual wielding, but they fixed that. I mean, the game is, you know, 400 years old. What do you want? Still very good. Very good. Also, sorry, I'll link the gear setup in the chat because I didn't manage to update the description for this one. Hang on, guys, sorry. I try to have these ready to go, but like I said today, late stream, Pseudo got slammed at work. Still triggers it. Yeah, report it. Might have some dev budget to fix it now. Want to make sure this is correct. Yeah. This isn't the worst thing I've ever put together, for sure. The other thing I'd really like, just if we're, you know, pie in the sky dreaming, I really want somehow Gunsaber to trigger all your sigil slots. Like, none of Warrior is balanced around losing 2 sigils, and I hate it a lot, but I know they won't do that. I'm content with my off weapon being a stacking sigil. It just needs, like, just fucking something, dude. Yeah, and Troubadour feels like the one that should be the support version of Paragon, right? Yeah, you could do Hydro Doom and whatever was like 4 on swap sigils, but I don't know, like the rest of Bladesworn is bad enough, I don't think that would matter. I've thought about that a lot. Like, Bladesworn isn't, again, it's Herald level power, it's not amalgam levels of stupid, right? You actively lose a button that is the core of your kit for speccing into this class. And it does gain bullshit like Shieldmaster, but I don't think that being able to, like, Condi burst somebody with, like, Geo and Hydro and whatever it is, if you wanted, would really break the game. The only one that would really break the game is Energy Sigils, which, see above statement, in my opinion, of wanting them fucking deleted. Zerg Bladesworn, I have no idea, but if it's full power, it's disgusting. Jesus, Pseudo. If it's full power, I would guess it's Sword Axe. The other weapons are superfluous. I do know it's just all the power damage modifiers. Which also doesn't make a ton of sense, because Berserker's power doesn't trigger until you already use a Dragon Slash, but again, here we are. Because you can already... Sorry, I got distracted by something shiny. On the topic of what's it called? Like triggering on 4 on swap sigils, you can already kind of do that with a lot of the shrouds, especially Gale Shot. Like, that was my big design balance concern with Gale Shot, is the Gale Bow is instant and has no cast time and no cooldown. So you can effectively, every 4 seconds, trigger all 4 of your weapon swaps, which is, or trigger 4 sigils, because what you do is right before you would weapon swap, you flash Gale Bow, and that triggers the ones you have equipped, and then you go into your other weapon set, which triggers the other ones. Yeah. Because it's like a transform but not, but easier, because you can just double press it. And fundamentally, like, Bladesworn is kind of just Gale Shot, but unfinished in terms of PvP stuff. Like, Gale Shot starts with its arrows, Bladesworn has to build them up. You know, Gale Shot does more shit with its arrows, whereas Bladesworn, like, really only uses them for one thing. Like, it really is conceptually very similar, even the weakness to Condi's. Even if, like, most people just might be partially my fault run, you know, stances and make Bladesworn a moving brick. So I don't really think it would add that much power level. I know you didn't mean to turn this into a whole, like, discussion thing. I'm just like, my builder brain is just like, what would break the game 2026? Not fucking much other than Antiquary. Antiquary's dumb, chat. Changed my mind. It's a really cool class. I love the design. I love the theming. I really love that they actually didn't go Gambit and made it weird. It's fucking broken for PvP. I cannot believe that all of their shit is AoE and they can refresh it every 8 seconds. Unyielding Dragon technically does more damage, but it won't matter. Am I still mad at you? I was never mad at anybody. Definitely not mad at you, Dubious. I'm mad at Soup for fucking humbling me today after I spent like 6 hours theory crafting shit yesterday. That dude dumpstered my ass. That Bingley guy sucks, though. A little weird. Well, all the people who have been following along from the class for a very long time knew nothing would happen when they made Fast Hands baseline. Yes, well, I don't know, PD. If you join a quick play fractal, will it kick you from World vs. World queue? I would assume yes, because fractals are instanced. I don't know if they potentially said the Warrior thing would break Warrior, because Warrior was basically in a dumpster when they did that, and it really needed that. But also, like, and that was the easiest of easy low-hanging fruits they could have done, because every build in the world ran discipline. You had to. And I know they had been trying to see if Bladesworn would like kind of change that, where you could skip the weapon swap with the gunsaber thing. But I know what you're saying. I think about that a lot, where they were like, oh, this is one of the biggest changes we've done to the game possibly ever, and they're fucking nothing. Partially because they also did really big changes to like Guardian, giving it a stun break baseline. Yeah, I'd also guess, but get back to us if you do. I think that going into a fractal will definitely has a higher chance of kicking you out of the queue. I think maybe the Fast Hands thing might have been a wake-up call as well for how far behind a lot of things that aren't Paragon on Warrior are performing. Where for a really long time, like, Warrior's PvP numbers and viability was being propped up by literally the existence of Spellbreaker. I don't want to turn this into a pseudo complaints about Warrior stream either, because, to be clear, I've been, like, playing more things recently, and being like, oh, you actually take damage on things that don't just run 5 stances, right? But it's definitely evident that a lot of the mechanics, predominantly the number of buttons that things have gotten as the game goes on your bar, have really drastically outpaced Warrior. If you want an amalgam build, check out my one that I ran before and evoked. It should be on the channel. Viper, Trailblazer, Conduit. That's a life choice. I can try to find it for you since you didn't ask, sorry. I'm doing that thing. I give unsolicited advice. The amalgam build I got to the second, like, sort of iteration of playing it was quite good. Let's see if I can find this. Because no build is really good the first time you take it out, chat. Unless it's Sally. Sorry, trying to find this. I was really happy with this setup. But I'm also coped up on Diviner's gear. What's weird is once I started running the puddle, I started doing a lot better. And also once I gave up and started running spear, Soup was right. You have to run spear. Oh yeah, Meta Battle's probably got a better build than mine, but I was really enjoying that one. I also run weird crap. I was running Silver Lining. Which is not a trait you typically run on Amalgam. Would you like to fight, sir? Sir. Sir would not like to fight. Gonna be a fabulous Azure with a top hat over there. Dun, dun, dun. Chat, where's the content? Did World vs. World Rush kill all the content? Do I need to swap over to Chomp server or something? Shortbow's just there for stacking. Shortbow is not necessary. You can kind of run whatever is your stacking weapon. Huge fan of that. Yeah, they are good world versus world guild. It's weird as I feel like I've only ever fought them once. And VOA is also full of roamers. We are a little bit smaller, but we are also full of roamers. Need to think of new ideas for the channel intro, chat. Because they fixed a lot of the jank. They didn't fix all the jank, but they fixed a lot of the jank. And I don't know what to do with my life if the jank's fixed. I still really want to know what's under the hood in terms of like how Dragon Trigger mechanically is coded. Because it feels really fucking weird to not just be a projectile with insta speed. Sorry, reading team chat. Talking about the world versus world rush rewards and stuff. Switch this up just a little bit. No worries, man. It's fine. We go PvP, chat? Jesus. Still an 8-person queue, so I don't want to do that yet. Let's see what our tag's up to. Let's wake up a little bit, see what our tag's up to. Ferret, 6. Let's skip 5. Chat, how many ferrets are we at? It's important. If we have an inaccurate ferret count, I have to end the stream. Yeah, no worries. Again, I make weird stuff. We're 3 ferrets and a half. Is it just like 4 people taking SMC back? Oh my god, it is. I love you. I'm glad that there's a weird work law. It's another animal. Honestly. I still think a Warclaw that's an actual dog would be really funny. Like I know there's a Shiba for the Jackal. That's partially why I want all the Jackal skins ported over. Want is a dangerous word, though. Yeah, there's a bear. That's true. This guy's got the bear. Can we also shoot the catapults and hit from here? I'm guessing no. That's a big no. That's a big no. fucking Daring Dragon consumes flow so fast. God damn it. You have to, like... The spider acrobatics I'm gonna have to do to really pull this off is crazy. Just want to see if I can do it when I'm at about 30 flow. Okay. I can get used to that. That's fine. Cancel it that early. It's gonna be a pain in the butt, but I can do that. Are we giving up on SMC because of the one guy? Fuck this. Come on. Come on. Flick Ebermain. Let's go. Got this. We'll throw down a catapult. A good catapult location. God damn it. I did not think that was 1500 range. That's how far 1500 range is, chat. This guy. That guy. That's wild. I'm glad you are safe. Yeah, the weather's been nuts. Just do it this way. How would we do a world versus world roaming event, chat? Like plus 500% damage if you have somebody next to you? Like, how would that even work? Perma social awkwardness? Perma boon removal? That'd be a fun week. Something just stupid like that, I think. They could make war score not count or something, like for all the people that take it seriously, but I think that'd be funny. Delete the Warclaw. Put in boats. Are we having fun catapulting the wall that's already down? I think we're having fun catapulting the wall that's already down. Alright, I will be the hero that Gotham needs. When realistically, what Gotham needs is not a crazy rich guy who dresses in a bat costume, actually, and takes out his childhood insecurities on criminals. What Gotham needs is better charities. Batman needs a new origin story. What the fuck? Oh, how I feel about this now. God damn it. Well. I'm going to do this. The rest of the stream is going to be me building this trebuchet. I wonder how big the queues will get on Friday. Probably just like you can't play if you don't insta-get in. At least for the 2 hours that everybody plays. Like, actually just destroyed. Oh man, you're a rifle berserker. How did that not hit you? Whatever, we're here now. One day that will trigger. It'll be great. If he can short bow himself to death. And short bow himself to death. I got fucking amalgam though. I didn't see the amalgam in there. I saw the luminary. Interesting, okay. Luminary is such a nuclear explosion. I did not realize I was fighting 3 people. I wouldn't have stopped that. Is there any way I can turn the luminary animations down, chat, without disabling the one setting that makes Harbinger Wells not render? I don't think there is. They break all their stuff. God damn it, my catapult quest. Ah, it's over. Might as well uninstall the game forever. So much barrier on amalgam. So much barrier. It may have been from the luminary. Gotta be careful, we're in enemy territory. Two waffles. This is the prettiest cat. I wish you could inspect people's mount colors instead of just their outfits, because that shit slaps. So, Conduit Man, would you like to fight? He wouldn't. He would like to be a conduit over there. I get you. Fair enough. My ally just needs to press one button. Fuck, dude. Where'd he go? Oh, I had a friend. Okay, we're getting used to it. Dragon Spike Mine in that spot is really fucking with my brain, though. There's like a 1 frame lag point where I press the wrong stun break. And that's got to change. That's usually where balance stance is. I could also... What's the duration on Centaur? It's 4 base, right? Builder's just not working. Sick. Love to see it. Got Luminaried. Sick. Love to see it. Don't run away. This was such a good duel. My guy. Oh, he's gonna do thief things. Alright. Sense 4? Okay. Good to know. Thief has fucking wings, dude. He was over in that tower so fast. Yeah, the good thing about the Condi damage is it forces people to press buttons, which is what our Bladesworn was lacking. It's not more damage, really, but it is better damage because it's hybrid damage now, which is a step. It feels like, to me, like, there is the perfect Bladesworn utility. It's on Spellbreaker. It's called Sight Beyond Sight. I've talked about this before. And in the vein of, like, putting Unravel on Weaver's Bar baseline, I would really like to see them try putting something like Sight Behind Sight on Bladesworn baseline, because it is the perfect skill for this class. It reveals in an AoE, it has 2 charges, it makes your next attack crit, and it ignores blindness. Like, it's so good. It is literally Bladesworn.exe, and it's on fucking Spellbreaker. And if that was like an F3 on my bar, Bladesworn would be perfect. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Don't know how I just, like, Dragon Triggered toward the Zerg there, but I'll take it. I deserved to die there. That was me being bad. Ugh. Zergs are out, chat. Really? Oh, that's why. Yep, he's right there. Knew it. Really? No stun break? Alright. Fair enough. Just gave up. Oh, the tracking's so good now, chat. The tracking on Dragon Trigger 3 is so good now. Oh, 2v2. Gotta love it. He also has the weirdest booster setup. He's got like a celebration booster, not criticizing. Celebration booster and Black Lion booster. Nothing else. Not judging. Just weird. Let's take 2 of this camp. Back into the darkness. No one's DM'd me tonight. I don't usually get BM, DM anyway. Usually get fucking great fight. It's great to see Bladesworn. Yeah, if you could log in and DM me a bunch of insults, that'd really help. Thanks. Just like only if it's creative stuff, though. Everybody's like, I used to play Bladesworn back in the day. It's like, yeah, you did. It was hideously broken. That's correct. Impossible to underestimate. You'd agree with me, but then you'd both be wrong. That's funny. It's pretty good. I still think Vlox has, like, everything fucking beat, though. I would actually... The Vlox insult is kind of twofold, right? Because imagine somebody, like, DMs you and they don't do the thing where they, like, block you, right? So you can respond. It would be so funny to me if you respond with, like, PvP or PvE, you know, context, where it's like the only way they would understand that is if they were from, like, PvE, right? It's so good, actually. Also, my controller just fucking disconnected and reconnected. That was weird. Whatever. We're here now. You stop trying to kill me when I'm in a rifle. My guy. My computer fucking exploding, chat. Is the stream okay? We haven't dropped any frames. Yeah, there's some good ones. I like that. For sure. Oh, can we get stacks? Is this a real fight? It's a fake fight. I do the thing where I give my allies boons and then they do all the work for me. Something died. I'm a lighthouse in a desert. I am a lighthouse in the desert. I don't even take that as an insult, right? But not very useful. That's not even a fucking insult. That's true. Insta 25 stacks. Hell yeah. Dude, did you see me mashing fucking Defiant stance, chat? Jesus Christ. There is some server fucking lag. I didn't rally off any of that. Like, 12 things died. Like, this is... It's not even skill lag. I think the server... I could feel it when we were going into the tower. I could feel it too, right? Like, I think the server is, like, on fire or something. And I hope not. I wonder if they have to actually build their server, like their World versus World events around their server load, you know? Like, when are we not gonna be absolutely slammed with people? Last week of July. I want to get out of combat. I want my stacks back. Never happening. I'm never getting out of combat. We got out of combat, chat. Calm down. Is this firebrand? Off yo cat. You too, sir. No cats allowed. Now, can I get to my stacking weapon before they stomp that guy? Probably not. Nope. Because there's a cooldown. Hell yeah. We're up to 5. Maybe 6. Hold, please. This thief loves it out here. I thought they didn't have fear anymore. Oh, he stole it from the necromancer. Who dis? Grims. Like this. Mechanist. Lagging Mechanist. My god. Where is this guy? Yeah, there's some funky shit going on with the server right now, guys. What? I have so many questions. I have no idea. Oh my god, thank you, Emmy, for the raid. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. Hello, hello, hello. I assume you did nothing but play World vs. World today, as you always do. Welcome in. Can I do the thing where I like awkwardly go over to Twitch and give Emmy a shout out? The Chrono Goddess herself. Hey yo! We are doing World vs. Worlds as we usually do, except it's rush week. So if any of y'all have any questions, I know a lot of you probably have to go to bed, but if anyone has any questions, let me know. Because this is my thing. Not exclusively my thing, but go check out Emmy. Very, very skilled, if not one of the most skilled raiders I know. Extremely, extremely, extremely talented. Chrono button presser. Absolutely dumpstered my DPS when we did a collab 2 years ago that I still haven't edited. I'm gonna air those as episode 0. Swear to God. Hammer Rev. I've heard... What is it? Hammer Warriors doing disgusting DPS as well now. You clipping things, Bingley? I'm gonna have to ban you for a 15th time. Thank you for the follow, AR. And Chocolate. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I have no idea. I think that, like, I literally think their servers are exploding, my guy. That Mechanist was killed so hard, he ended up 6,000 range from where he died. I need to turn the follower chat only thing off. I'll write a note to do that after this stream, actually. I only had that on because it was like, for a year I was getting nothing but spam bots. Must be a better way. But thank you, thank you, thank you. How's Hammer Rev? Hammer Rev seems quite good in PvP. Why Condi Bladesworn? Because it's something different after 5 years. The second answer is because for World vs. World at least, having varieties of damage forces people to press buttons to blow Condi cleanses occasionally, just occasionally, but occasionally, whereas Power really doesn't have that because Power Bladesworn doesn't do enough damage to kill somebody out of Garlic. So the advantage, like, they didn't really give Bladesworn a buff this past patch, they just fixed a lot of the bugs, like the Dragon Trigger 2 and 3 tracking is much better. And they give it a Condi variant. Oh, and because the Gunsaber's red. That's the obvious answer. And I'm a child. Yeah, they made the hitbox on the 3 a lot bigger, and they seem to have changed the tracking on it. And Dragon Trigger 2 has not failed for me once since this past patch, when it used to fail about 6 times a stream, and that's not an exaggeration. So whatever they did, it seems to have really worked. I don't know if I want a Zerg. All of the roaming fights seem to have died. The tragic thing about PvP or World vs. World Bladesworn is not so much that they really need to make the Grandmasters do something, it's that there's still really no reason to charge Dragon Trigger. Like, especially for Condi, charging it doesn't really add more damage. And, like, why am I here at that point? You know what I mean? Like, what are we doing? But baby steps. Like I said, this wasn't really a... This was more of a unfuck the class patch than it was a balance patch, and I think people were really ready for a ArenaNet is going to overtune things like they used to be patch, and that's not what they got. So a lot of people kind of sad. But a lot of people are trying it, which is great. We've had tons and tons of people just interested in the class, trying it, asking questions. It's been great. And they also fixed the only real bug / complaint I had, well, that I found on day 1. You used to be able to not instacast Dragon Trigger 2 or 1 or 3 on release, but they fixed that within a day. The only other bug I've found so far is sometimes when you use Dragon Trigger 2, it will flip you around and you will be facing behind you. So if you try to use a dodge or a movement skill, it will roll you backwards into death. Blame English. My answer for you, Mr. Bingley. That is your real name. Ooh, we got Strife leveled up. And is on the tankiest Dragon Hunter. Tragically, he did not have the utility Pocket Zerg equipped. That man gave me an emblem of the Avenger, hell yeah. Thank you for being the 100th sacrifice. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, I know a lot of you are from Emmy's Raid. I am Pseudo. I stream Monday, Wednesday, sometimes on the weekends at 9 o'clock Eastern. We're going a little late today because I got a late start. I do lots of build crafting, theory crafting for World vs. World mostly, but it's a lot of like PvP and stuff. I run weird builds, usually off-meta stuff. So if you don't know where to start or you don't really know how to get into these game modes, this is a really good week for it because you have to play less and you can get a gift of battle and it's really good. And that's what most people come to World vs. World for. Anyway, yeah, true lighthouse in the desert. Dragon Trigger 2 into break step, throw you into enemies, yeah. Report it, Goliath. Because we got the first bug fixed instantly. If this is happening to other people, maybe they're actually looking at it right now. And the crazy thing is, to me, and this is going to sound really, really, really egocentric, I didn't report that. I didn't have time this week to report anything. Juan, thank you for the follow, welcome. Or sorry, sub on YouTube. That's actually working now? Holy shit, YouTube's API might have fixed itself. I didn't report the Instacast Dragon Trigger 2 and 3 thing, or 1 and 3. I didn't have time this week. Somebody else did that, and that means that they are taking feedback from more than just Pseudo's dumb ass for once on this. So really, really, really good. Cannot stress that enough. Actually do it while they've maybe got eyes on it. He had stability? I have so many questions right now. Why does Reaper have barrier science? This guy's build is a monster. Absolute monster. Thank you for the healing. Your servers are exploding, chat. Your servers are fucking on fire right now. I was so close to Defiance stance, but I got double thieved. See you, Bingley. Have a good night. Thanks for joining, man. That was a really good fight. I probably would have lost there because the Reaper has so much boon rip. So many boon rip. Fuck English, man. Ugh. The worst part is it resets Strife. Why is Strife triggering while I'm gliding? I feel so bad for the devs sometimes, because, like, they also must be like, why is Strife triggering while you're gliding? You know? It's like coding for this game. Also, what happened? It's like... Is it like California prime time right now or something? I feel like so many people just got online. Like, where did this green Zerg come from? Where did this blue Zerg come from? It's almost always full diviners, Igar Leak, but this one is a little bit different, and I didn't update it because we had a late start. That should be it. It's full quickness duration, but there's some Condi in there. I did a bunch of build testing, and despite everybody thinking that Arms would be good because it's in quotes the Condi trait line on Warrior, it's not. Arms adds nothing. And it's better to the TLDRs, it's basically better to just permastack 25 might than it is to try to get Condi damage from other sources. And then after, again, Condi Bladesworn is not good yet. It's passable. It's probably the power level of, like, Herald, right? Versus, like, Vindicator or Conduit. Where, like, you can make it work, but you have to try. And I've tested, like, probably 40-ish builds this week. Like, gear setup, relic, min-maxing stuff. It shouldn't be 97%. That's the wrong build if that's 97%. Hang on. Maybe I copied the wrong one here. This should be 70%. Usually I'm at 100 though for boon duration. The only way Bladesworn works as a roaming class at all is with boon duration. Because it has nothing else. You need the reflect uptime. Yeah, it's a different one. That's the other one that, like, the basic other gear setup that I was running, which is all diviners, but with, Brain. Flame Legion runes. Because, again, if you can just stack, like, I'm not gonna pick on that person, person's super new. If you can just stack might with, like, burning duration, it's way better than trying to get, like, Condi damage from arms, which gives you 0 might. Warriors kind of... I was talking about this a little bit. The reason Condi Berserker works for PvP and Condi Bladesworn doesn't yet is because Skull Grinder, right? Skull Grinder is all of Condi Berserker's balance, like, full stop. It does everything you need in a Condi class, which is a damaging condition and then 3 cover conditions that are good. And it dazes and does power damage for some reason. Like, it is the entire class. I tried grieving first. That was the first thing I tried. Again, you get about 1,400-ish condition damage from full grieving, and what you lose is the ability to play the game. Even if you take all the max, like, infusions, runes, boon duration, this is gonna sound condescending, and I've been trying to figure out a way to put this into a video, but, like, math, right? You think about the conditions Bladesworn got. It got mostly burning damage. So, like, what's really doing burning damage on Bladesworn right now is the 3 hits, because this does 3 stacks of burning. This is actually a really good button now. It does some bleeding, but that's mostly a cover condition that's getting cleansed. And then these other things do burning. And then if you take overcharge cartridges for PvE, it's also doing burning, right? It's all burning damage. So, what's better than trying to go, like, grieving stats or, like, Selly stats, which would affect more than one type of condition, like, 50% burning duration times 15 plus the 175 like power or condition damage gives you effectively 900 stat points, right? With Flame Legion runes. And 900 from a rune, or like about the equivalent you get for quickness duration if that's what you're trying to min-max, which was the build I linked for Flame Firebrand runes, is more than what you lose from trading Diviner's to Grieving. You see what I'm saying? Like, Diviner's gear lets you play the game, and then we, like, try to find damage, essentially, instead of trying to find damage and then trying to play the game. But that's just one from what I've found. I have heard people, like Soup was telling me, I have a friend named Soup. I have to keep saying this. He was telling me that he's seen like a mix of Trailblazers and Vipers Bladesworn doing quite well. I don't doubt it. You know, if you're in nothing but an immovable rock, like, I can see it happening for people who just don't have Condi cleanse, but Bladesworn has no cover Condi. So it's, you know, gonna be tough to damage most things that say on existing cleanse 1 or 2 conditions like Amalgam and stuff. Amalgam, Luminary, everything has a trait like that these days. Just cleanse a condition by pressing a button. Do I think they should give Bladesworn cover Condis? Not really. How many CC buttons? The only CC that you have on this build is, well, only, right? Here, I'll show you. You get 1 on that, which is pretty reliable and does decent damage. You get 1 on Bull's Charge. Pretty reliable. And then when you reload, because Gunsaber 3 has an 8-second cooldown, this basically has an 8-second cooldown, or like somewhere in between, like 12-ish, right? So you have 1 really low cooldown CC skill that's unreliable, and then you have 1 longer but still low cooldown skill that's reliable, which is why I take Body Blow instead of either of the other 2. Also, they destroyed the already low power coefficient on Dragon Trigger for PvP. Otherwise, I would take Great Fortitude. But Dragon Trigger, again, is basically not worth charging now and does 0 damage. 0 power damage. This engineer is, like, living the turret life. Trying to figure out what's going on here. Oh, I'm being shot. Very rude. Very rude. Very rude of you. Rude. Stop shooting, Pseudo. I wanted to let you guys live. Those people were new. And I feel bad. Yeah, it still like flips you around at the end of Dragon Trigger too. A little bit. I don't think that's the same Reaper. I really want to fight that guy again. I looked at Ritualist. The problem with Ritualist is you're already sacrificing your main stat to a useless stat. Ritualist is the closest that you would get to a useful boon duration gear set on Bladesworn, because it gives expertise and concentration, which nothing else in the game does, along with some kind of Condi damage. If Ritualist had literally anything but Vitality or Toughness there, it would be useful, or Healing Power, like any kind of offensive stat. But it doesn't. You don't need... Basically, Ritualist gear, it gives you psychotic amounts of Vitality, which just turns you into Trailblazers too. Again, a lot of gear sets in this game are balanced around... One of the reasons that Condi builds haven't been viable or weren't for so long is because their gear and how they're balanced is kind of like... Their gear is kind of garbage for support. Like, there isn't a main stat concentration, nor really should there be a main stat concentration Condi viable gear set. What would really help is a boon duration Condi rune, but I don't, and the closest you get to that is something like Firebrand runes, which is why that's what we're running. Like, there are other options where there's like leadership, which give you all stats, and then you can run a different stacking sigil. But again, you're leaving stats on the table, at least the way I look at it, where Star's sigils are so aggressively broken in terms of like how much better they are than every other stacking sigil. It's almost hysterical because they give you concentration and expertise. That's not why we're running the runes we are. I don't know. It's back and forth, but yeah, I get it. Firebrand or Flame Legion is what I've been running, yeah. You can run, like, Balthazar, which will give you more Condi damage. But because Bladesworn's, like, the only other viable weapon set on Bladesworn right now is Sword Pistol or Rifle for PvP. I prefer Flame Legion because most of your damage, again, the Gun Saber damage is there to make people press buttons so that they can't stun break your Bull's Charge combo. Because as with the power variant, let me try to find an NPC. The only thing that does damage, because Dragon Trigger is not allowed to do damage in PvP yet, the only thing that does damage on Bladesworn currently is the Bull's Charge 5-5-4-4-3-5 combo. Let me see if I can show you. There's nothing around here, man. Need like a turnip or something that's hostile to me. Oh, there we go. Come here, turnip. Turnip's going that way. Oh, this is more than a turnip. Well, I only have 2 stacks. That's fine. Go. Turnip evaded. Hang on. I'll find a deer or something. I really hate how Dragon Spike Mine works as a stun break. I know it's for PvE, but it shouldn't be, and I hate it. And I don't like that the weird thing I'm trying tonight works. Okay, so this is the only thing that does damage on Bladesworn. Let me illustrate this on this poor unsuspecting deer, right? You get into combat, you build up flow, you have like some might from doing one of your dragon triggers, right? Hold on. And then you do this. And that almost killed the deer. as you can see, Bladesworn's damage is not great. Oh dear, what have I done? Yeah, pretty much. Bladesworn's damage is not great, which is why it needs so much setup. Again, this is basically full offensive stats. The only thing we're really changing is some Viper's gear is, or some of our Diviner's gear from the power build is now Viper's. Which I could change the Viper's gear that's in this build to Grieving instead. Which would slightly help with the burst, but it also would lower the damage potential because expertise is better than Condi damage in how it scales. And I don't have a lot of duration on this. Also, weirdly enough, this seems to trigger Lush Forest really late. Or the aftercast on Pistol 4 is really long. Because I should be able to go for... That time it worked. I don't know why it didn't work on the deer, whatever. There was like a solid second of lag. You get the point. There's also lots of bugs still on it. They've introduced a new bug where whenever you go into Dragon Trigger, if you pull it out really fast, you can sometimes see 2 gun sabers because it desyncs from itself. Again, coding this game must be a nightmare. I don't blame it at night. I really do give them credit for doing a lot of the good things they did this past patch. I think it was really, really solid. Zoom! I'm back here. My guy. Yeah, you're supposed to keep hitting me with a hydrate check, so I actually drink this. There we go. Dinner obtained. We actually read. Holy shit. Yep. And I'm sure somebody smarter than me will come up with something. But, like I said, I think this patch was... With the exception of... I guess Condi Chronomancer... Really more of a cooked balance. Like, this patch was a balance patch that wasn't overcooked, right? And I think they were being... Again, I don't know why it's always Warrior they're really, really conservative with, but the Hydrate's on cooldown? Oh, so maybe somebody just hit it. They always seem to be really conservative with Warrior. Like, whenever they change anything drastic. I get why. It's been a problem in the past. It has stances that make it not take damage for 5 seconds. But... like, just one patch, you know? Just, like... Just give us one patch where we get to be, like, psychotically OP. Again, I don't really want that, right? Like, it says in the intro to the channel, I just want the jank fixed, and that's really what they did with this patch. They fixed a lot of the bugs, so we can start talking about Bladesworn's design, and then we can talk about balance, right? And that's the order you need to go in. DD on Tempest, or on Weaver is viable. Jancis was saying anything with Bava Nisos is quite good. Like the Weaver Unravel thing, quite good. And I saw Flog, a friend named Flog, I'm sorry, playing a lot of Dagger Weaver. I want to try Spear Weaver with the changes, man. Those seem crazy. I might change it up from the Celtic music. Enjoying it for now. Where's the content, though, chat? Jesus. Oh, hello, content. Content's going over there. Pop quiz, chat. How long can Ellie have true invulnerability for if they chain all of their skills together? And I'm not talking about damage immunity like Endure Pain. I'm talking about true invulnerability. Does anyone know this offhand? Because I do. The answer may surprise you. You're very close, actually. It doesn't matter. You can do Viper or Grieving, whatever you have lying around. You can also just go full Diviners with Flame Legion runes, like I said, and be fine. But it's a different build. This guy's Tempest build owns. Is this soup on an Azura? Jesus. This guy's build has, like, if I was alone, I would not kill this guy. So much respect. That was a fucking sick build. It's 17 seconds. Django, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Yeah, 2 days. Pretty fucking much. Read this herb synthesizer. That's you? Nice build, man. That's awesome. Are you running pistol? Did I see a field down when you, like, did stuff? That's awesome. Tempest, like, just giving you stun breaks on your bar adds so much flavor. I've fought Soup on his, like, Nightmare Selly Tempest, and that thing just does not run out of buttons to press. Like, the couple pieces of Viper or Grieving that are in the build won't matter, I guess, is my answer to that. And if you want to try the build, again, there's a dude that sells exotic versions, which will be definitely good enough at the spawn point of gear. It is Golem Man. I'll go back and I'm right here. I might as well show it off for the few ME viewers who are still sticking around. So if you want to get into World versus World, this is something that, like, people don't know. You probably do if you're still here, but you might not. This guy has exotic versions of gear. Any stat, even Aqua Breathers you can buy. And buy a chest guard. Don't know why I bought the most expensive one, but we're here now. And then if I find it in my inventory, which I can't, you can stat select it to anything once, which is quite useful. So if you want to, like, try some kind of Nutjobs Diviner's Bladesworn build, there you go. After, I think it was Kale or 12 came in here and told me about the platinum doubloons giving you more boon duration on exotic gear thing. I actually, because I was having such trouble getting, like, useful stats on Condi, I went away and, like, looked at a lot of the, like, exquisite exotic jewels that are in the game. And I was, like, playing with exotic gear, which was really fun. I wouldn't recommend it, but there's some interesting stat combos you can get away with. I think Condi Sworn is exactly where every single Condi class should be, Django. I think that they nailed the balance. It's just that a lot of other things in the game way outperform Bladesworn in general, let alone this as a Condi class, right? Like, I think that Revenant has, like, the power scale down. Like, Herald is probably the lowest if we're not counting core. It goes like Herald, Renegade, Vindicator, Conduit, right? Like, Conduit is way overperforming. Vindicator is probably, like, right where everything should be if you don't take into account energy sigils. Renegade is, like, a little below that, and Herald is, like, below that. Bladesworn is now not dog water with the Condi change, right? It actually has some sauce, and you have the ability to at least pressure your opponent in World versus World in ways where you didn't before. Like, they have to at least blow a dodge to cleanse Condis, or press a button, or just trigger their trait, or whatever it is. I don't think it's good, right? But what I give ArenaNet way more credit for than introducing Condi or support Bladesworn, because there's lots of bugs with them still, is they really seems to have fixed Dragon Trigger 2 and 3 and fixed a couple of the other bugs that were on it. Advice for a new player in regards to getting better at combat, finding it quite tricky, not fluid. You're used to playing Elder Scrolls Online. Never played Elder Scrolls, but this game is very fast. So my advice is find a build that you really enjoy in PvE. Like open world, you can start with Celestial Gear, and you know, have like a minimum of 2 stun breaks somewhere on your kit. Not for raids or anything like that. Just a build you enjoy doing stuff on, right? And then see if you can translate that into world versus world in some way. Celestial Gear is a great starting point for most things in the game. It's not the be-all end-all, and honestly, it's kind of overpowered. But the starting exotic Celestial Gear you get for leveling up your character is very, very good. I'm not gonna fight you, I'm just gonna watch. I'll watch the duel. So start with that. Also, if you're dying to something, play it in PvP, because you'll learn its strengths and weaknesses. If there's a specific class you struggle with a lot, like fighting, play it. Because that's what will ultimately teach you how it works. Oh, help. Sorry. He's dueling you. Yeah. So no offense, Marauders is bad. But yeah. Marauders, taking any vitality on Warrior is unnecessary. I mean, you can already, like, this Weaver that just won this duel, look at this guy's boons, right? He has minimum leadership relic on. Like, this guy's got a Karka potion. His gear's optimized as shit. But yeah, this whole block of Mesmer is because I kept dying to Mesmers. This whole block of Warrior is because I wanted to get good at the game. And Warrior has the most honest damage. I'm going to lose to this guy because Weaver is absolutely an insta-loss for me, but I want to try it. This is a Dagger Weaver. Here's your Dagger build, my guy. Yeah, I don't have enough damage to even approach pressuring this guy. No shot. I think he's full Selly though, so if I just kited him, he wouldn't be able to kill me. Or it would at the very least, take him a really long time. I did not mean to cleanse that. Oh no, he's running fucking, what's it called? That is so much stun. There was a lot of stun on that. I did not anticipate that much stun. That was a great fight. Love to fight this man again. I don't know if it was focused because he definitely has main hand dagger. It looked like Gale, but updraft can look like Gale as well. I would have to check my combat log. I think it was because it was a knockdown, not a knock up, right? So it must have been dagger focus. I think I saw swirling winds in there once as well. I'm just so used to fucking fighting focus on everything. I don't know. And when he ran out of buttons, I started doing damage to him, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm also used to not running this shit. The Dragon Spike line is such a waste of a skill. But here we are. Trying to use the tools that ArenaNet has given me. It's going something. No, Gale, yeah, Gale needs a fucking telegraph, like yesterday. Gale and Dragon's Tooth need to taken out back, like, and just like given the world's biggest telegraphs. Mending into the limit, do not like Defiant Stance lets you play the game. Oh, it's this guy. I love this guy. I wanted to. Okay, never mind. We're just doing this. Defiant Stance lets you play the game at all. You're gonna fight things like full Selly Antiquary that just eat your lunch if you don't have Defiant Stance on your bar. The only alternative to Defiant Stance is what's it called? Combat Stimulant. Combat Stimulant is good, but Combat Stimulant is really only good with in conjunction with the resistance trait in strength. And that makes it good, but it also means that you have one less button that like lets you exist as a Bladesworn. Because all of the actual Bladesworn buttons are quite terrible. As we've seen. As soon as I push drag, yep. As soon as I push Dragon Spike Mine, I'm dead. Let's see if I can get some quickness off this wolf. Demolishers is better for precision, though. That's what I'm saying. Sorry, I'm not trying to pseudo-splain builds to you, Goliath. Because again, I'm not king of builds, right? Different people try different stuff, and there's a good chance you'll find something that I tried and just I'm not good enough to pull off. But Dragons is a better option for general damage. Other guy really wants me dead. I don't know how I feel about that. Suppose I feel special. Yeah, it definitely still flips you around at the end or tries to. Is that a Dagger Necro? I think he's X. This guy? The Iron guy? I think he's X. I know it's really hard to tell, and they should have colored the Chakram something different. The other thing you can do with Bladesworn if you need crit chance in World vs. World is Sigils of Vision are borderline broken. Like, Sigils of Vision are head and shoulders above, what's it called? Sigil of Intelligence for PvP. 3 seconds of crit is fucking insane. I wouldn't put it past that being a Dagger Necro, though, because the Immobilize on Dagger is actually quite good. Because it doesn't have a tell and just hits you. Maybe getting to the end of the night, chat. Might be struggling for content, but we'll scope it out. Am in no way, shape, or form tired. Tag all of this. Ooh. Do I ruin their night? I do want to defend SMC. Jesus Christ, that's so bad. There needs to be a trait on Bladesworn that just says you have flow now. Like, it's real terrible. Because the Snowcrows guy was saying the same thing, where Bladesworn, like, really struggles for, he called it adrenaline in PvE. And no joke. They either need to take the cooldown off Dragon Trigger or drastically reduce it, and it's balanced then around flow generation, or just give it infinite flow, because this is silly. Rude. Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, dragons will still give you unga bunga numbers with vision sigils. Like I said, full power Bladesworn, I think it's like full dragons or full Zerker. With like all the power coefficients, and Berserker's power is actually meta in Zergs right now. Or not meta, but good, according to Kale. Oh, Jesus, man. I'm itching my head. I saw Pseudo itching his eyebrow, and they were like, no. Cannot stand. We must destroy him. I think the War Pigs are doing some world versus world. I have the weirdest mouse bug right now, chat. Dubious has all the fucking insults queued up. I will write these down for when I guest into Kuniv's streams. Is there any warrior specialization where the stun break isn't dog water? No, my family's very nice. You can insult me all you want, my family's great. Some of my cousins are a little weird. They're all bad, right? Featherfoot Grace isn't the worst button, but it also is not Shake It Off, right? Outrage isn't bad. Oh, the Headbutt. Right. Headbutt's good because it's an elite skill and it has no cooldown. Cacti are psychotic. They're another thing that shouldn't exist, but do. We could try... I'm gonna try the other idea I had here. I can't believe there are, like, only 2 relics that give you resistance. And I kinda can because resistance is really good, but they're very bad relics. I don't know. I wanted the Signet one to be good. It's really interesting. It's like when you use a Signet, you put a buff on your bar, and then when you use a Signet again, you consume the buff. Like, there's something there for sure. But it's not enough. Again, most of the relics are just undertuned in terms of numbers. Why are we cat-eyeing the wall that we already have down? Is, like, take down a wall of PvE objectives for this rush week? Get my 1 stack off this quartermaster. But yeah, in conclusion, Condi Bladesworn or Condi on Bladesworn, great addition. Condi Bladesworn, still kinda mid, but it doesn't need to be the best thing in the game for me to enjoy it, clearly. And it's red. And isn't that what we all wanted at the end of the day? The Toadvoker I didn't see. No, it's definitely not. That's way too much fucking damage. They all followed me. Of course they did. Yep. Hailsworn's a thing for some reason. I'm done with Dragon Spike Mine. It's dog shit. It keeps getting me killed. I want it to be good. It's really, really bad. Hey Ned, I tried to make your weird thing work. It doesn't. Your move. Another trait I need to change as well, right? Yep. The other trait that lets you play the game for slightly longer. Actually enjoyed that. I'm gonna put on the second mix. Which one was this? Hold please, chat. Whoever looked at Bladesworn and said this needs a support spec, like, it's gotta be Colin. There's no other explanation that it's either Colin or CMC who had that idea, because nobody could tell them they're wrong. Like, I so vehemently disagree with that, it's not even funny, but I'm also, again, not the main character of existence. They are in a squad. Hello, Hummingbird. Hello. Hello, hello. This new hat she's wearing is fire that they put in the gem store. This thing, where is it? You have a bucket hat in case you want to go to a rave. Then you have this thing. This thing is fire. Kind of nice that they bundled them for once, and it's not like 400 gems for one hat. There's a couple skills that work on hold, but it's real buggy. And also, I really hope they don't do that for personal reasons, because my key bindings for my controller don't allow me to hold buttons down. I'm trying to think if back in the day there were buttons you had to hold down. I think there were. I think like mantras you had to hold, like, hold the charge or something like that. Look at this parade, chat. Yeah, I don't know why Reach isn't red also. I mean, report it. Again, I can't be the only person not reporting the shit, so. It's funny that Reach is just like the healing color. Just hit by a nuclear explosion that is Luminary, chat. Oh, there's a fucking O-card here. Okay, that didn't render, and I still didn't deselect him? That's cool. Guess I'm dead now. Yep. That was awesome. That was my favorite thing. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Guild Wars 2 is great. Oh, I'm in action. Alright. It, like, selected him somehow in action camera? That's wild. Because I still need to change this toggle to be deselect. Maybe I'll do that over the break. Guild Wars 2 is very accessible. It's the perfect pick-up and play MMO. I realized about, I think it was like 4 years ago, that Guild Wars 2 is no longer trying to dethrone WoW or anything like that, as if anything could. It's perfectly content being the third best MMO, right? Like, it's just good, and it's going to keep just being good. I don't even have it on... Oh, I do have it on. There we go. That'll help a lot. Why did I not have that? Whatever, we're here now. I need to put the 5080 in my actual computer instead of keeping it in this box until it becomes obsolete. Yeah, I know. That's what I get. Hummingbird, you don't have to put a disclaimer every time you're nice in chat and you're like, Guild Wars 2 is great. You can just be like, Guild Wars 2 is fucking awesome, dude. Way too nice. No, I bought a 5080, but I didn't buy it at their jacked up prices. I back ordered a 5080 forever ago, and they kept putting off my shipment with all this RAM shortage bullshit. And then when they finally said they had them in stock, the place, because I bought it from I pre-ordered it or back ordered it from a B2B or business to business place, and I made sure that it was real. I was like, is this a real thing? And they were like, yeah. I checked on Reddit and everything, and they're like, yeah, they're really reputable. They're just like, no one knows about them. And then when they wanted to ship it to me in like, I think it was like January, they put it off again another month, and then they were like, finally, we have them in stock, but we want another $350. And I was like, no. You told me I could have this at the price I paid, like $1,000, which is already too much money. Like, please just see if you can honor that. And somebody called me and they were like, yeah, we'll do it. Or no, I called them twice until I got a human with a soul. And the guy was like, okay, we usually don't do this, but the world's on fire right now and we'll honor it. That's the only reason I still have it, Hummingbird. Is because I'm waiting to see if the world will unfuck itself slightly so I can sell it. But it will help with streaming and it will help for work. And my plan even before this bullshit was to buy a 5080 and then run it into the ground. Like run this computer into the ground and never upgrade it again. Because I have a 3080 from EVGA right now, which is probably the best 3080 anybody could get. I wanted the 5080 Ti, which was supposed to have 24 gigabytes of VRAM. But since VRAM is fucking an imaginary unicorn blood, like amalgam with gold right now, that's not gonna happen. Why? I'm letting you have your tower. Go, leave me alone. Go to your home. Quote Chomp, where are your parents? I was gonna let you fuck. We're still trying this. Go take your tower back. Yeah, I really would like to not support NVIDIA as well, but there are no alternatives that are realistic right now. The amount of trouble I've seen my friends have with rendering shit with AMD GPUs is non-zero, so for what I do, it can't be that. Intel's making some progress, like at light speed, basically, in terms of GPU development. It's so funny, not to get sidetracked by this like every stream, but like, the only people that are making money with all this AI bullshit are literally hardware companies. What is it, like, NVIDIA, Samsung, and like, AMD just started turning a profit? Like, all of the fucking software people are losing literal trillions of dollars. Anyway. Where are you at, Hummingbird? I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna take this camp. Never mind. We're apparently gonna bully blue. Yeah, that's always the rumor, Atomic. They were gonna cancel it, and then they didn't, and then they were gonna cancel it again, and then this, like, nonsense kicked off, and they didn't. The shitty thing with Intel is Pat Gelsinger made a lot of really good changes that he's never going to get to see because he was ousted as the CEO. And it turns out progress takes time, and people don't like that. So when they don't see immediate progress, they fire the CEO that did all the work so some other idiot can take the credit. Don't worry, so is everybody. Everybody is sick of AI everything. Nobody uses it. Well, everybody uses it, but nobody likes it. And the only people benefiting from it right now are coders. Which we could definitely not kill fish to use. And then run guild gens. Godspeed. I trust them. It's where I started. Spec, you see in World vs. World, and it doesn't feel threatening at all. I'm assuming you mean threatening and not threatened, kind of how I feel with Scourge and Firebrands. No, Firebrands can be very, very good. You need the build for it. Speed Relic Firebrand is horrifying to fight if they know what they're doing. Firebrand has so many free buttons that just do everything in the world. It's just that a lot of people don't play it as duelists. They only play either the pure boon or pure support version. Not to just say, oh no, your opinion's wrong. Sorry, I try not to do that. I think that's really gross. Mechanists usually just zero sauce, as we've talked about. Bladesworn, I know how it's going to end because I know the tools they have. And Bladesworn 1v1s are the most boring things on the face of the planet. They look epic as shit, though. But Bladesworn 1v1s are extremely boring. Anything else? All of the Mesmer specs are scary. All of the Guardian specs, including Core, can be scary. The actual most damaging burst core Guardian is Core right now, even over Luminary or Willbender. Core Rev doesn't really do anything. No, I'd be curious to see. Again, I take inspiration from everywhere. I'd be curious to know what like guild gen's running. It's probably, is it Balthazar runes? Because that's interesting. Take pieces from everything. I'm not right about everything, or I'm not right about everything, chat. Just like 99% of the shit. No, I'm not right. Like, you know, I can come up with a build and then somebody else come up with something else, and everybody iterates on it. Everybody who puts out a build that's like, this is the build, like, they're probably close. Moon of Surging. Surging's good. Surging's throwing, though. Surging wastes stats. Surging's really good for mobility, but Traveler will give you overall more stats for Bladesworn. And even if you want movement speed, there's the best in slot movement thing that you can do is this. It's Wrist of Masterful Speed. These go on your utility bar. They're hideously expensive. These are like 7 gold a piece to run, which is why you run them with primers. But these are the best in slot. Like, if you have to get mobility from somewhere, you use these 99% of the time. I'm not saying their build's wrong, though, because they're probably trying to make a build that's accessible to the most people. Because, like, most people are not going to go out and spend 7 fucking gold for a utility that's going to expire in 30 minutes, right? Again, people like Guild Gen, like, who've played this game for a really long time, Chomp, Homage, like, these are people with deep systems knowledge that are also trying to make builds that people could click on and go, I ain't running that shit. Should I get the guy that's down? I think it's a ranger. Otherwise, he is going to res. Yep, there we go. Hummingbird's inherited Barry's build, though, and she is just destroying worlds on it. Yeah, this thief's pretty good. I killed him once. Ran away once. Kind of didn't get to finish our third duel. Ah. Too much AoE. That was cool though. Nice little fight outside their spawn. I need to go get the real gear set up for this now that I switched off Dragon Spike Mine. There's a secret, not so secret food you can get from PvE that's the best in slot for this, and then I'll probably redo the gear so I have more boon duration but different runes. I'll probably switch to ore runes, which give you Condi reduction or stars. I don't know. Again, I gotta play with it. Like, this is the joy of a patch for me. Like, we've gotten nothing for 5 years on Bladesworn. It's so nice to have movable pieces that you can, like, try to make work. Even if ultimately the struggle is fruitless. Sisyphus got really jacked pushing the boulder uphill, chat. That's all I'm saying. Probably not the best role model. Knew it. You guys see that? Me bulls charge that thief with all that lag before he even teleported on me? I'm gonna die, but like, that was sick. I'm actually not dead. That was awesome. That was so much lag. That was like the coolest thing I've ever done in my life. All downhill from here. Virtuoso needs more movable pieces. I feel like the movable pieces are Troubadour. Like, I don't know. I know it's a cop-out. I know what you mean. The thing is with Virtuoso, though, they've redone all the traits on Virtuoso. People forget this. They've redone the traits on Virtuoso literally 4 times. It blows my mind how many different iterations of Virtuoso have existed in the game. A lot of which people either remember or don't remember. This commander kinda wrecking, by the way. Our guy, we are vastly outnumbered. Kinda shredding. Just saying. I am contributing nothing to this. I want all of you to know that. But boy, howdy, do I have max stacks now. It's not the same. Don't lump me in with them. Then why does it say it stocks blades, Hummingbird? We both know it was built on the same code. Yeah, boy, man, did my frame rate tank when I did that. No wonder I had it at lowest. Good lord. What's really funny is, like, I always wondered what magical space PCs ArenaNet must run World versus World on, right? And I've watched them stream before, and then, like, occasionally they'll open their settings and be like, oh, they also don't get fucking any frames. Like, it's just impossible to run World versus World on anything short of a Threadripper, dude. It just doesn't work. This is why I also tragically do not think World vs. World will be in Guild Wars 3. Because good luck running this on a PS5. But I suppose we'll see. Yeah, but you're also better with hardware than I am. I like my shading. My friend has a better computer than I do, and he turns his graphics in this game all the way down so he can get maximum FPS. It's the weirdest thing. The dude has like a $6,000 computer. I don't get it. What kind of setup do you have, Kale? Is it an Intel CPU? Or no, I bet you have an X3D chip. X3D is the one CPU that I would like to have, but I can't get one without downgrading my CPU, which is stupid. Let's try to take this tower. Nope, this is our tower. Never mind. Try to take this tower. Nope, not that tower. And our squad leader left. Well, fuck. Find one more triumphant thing to do. Yep, that's about what I figured. I have a 5950X, and I was really hoping the 5950X 3D would come out with all this RAM shit, but it's probably not going to. And I know I could get a 5800, but it would be a downgrade, and I'm not downgrading my CPU, especially I'm not paying hundreds of dollars to downgrade my CPU, and I'm not upgrading my computer right now because fuck the world. I'm also streaming, which hurts a lot of it. I get probably solid 18 more FPS when I'm not streaming. Thinking about just giving up and buying one of those pre-builts on Costco, though. Costco pre-builts, along with Micro Center deals, are one of the borderline invulnerable things that have retained power or retained affordability. Oh, there was a holo? Sorry, I was drinking. I have a Steam machine. I overpaid $250 for a Steam machine. I'm mad about that, too. That was supposed to be $750. I have a Steam controller as well. It just doesn't show up as an X input device, which I really wish I'd known before I bought two of them. Hummingbird, run! No, I didn't cancel the order because I got, like, my place in the queue for the controller came up, and I was like, well, I guess I'll buy one just in case I don't get the chance to buy a Steam machine. And then Valve released the window for the Steam machine a month and a half later outside its return period, and I was like, well, I guess I'll buy a Steam machine since I got the opportunity, and this was in my budget for this year anyway. So, I have two Steam controllers, even though I can't think of an earthly use case for ever using both of them at the same time. And I've tried to sell them to friends. And I don't want to resell it because I don't support the scalping bullshit. And if I resell it below what scalpers are selling it for on eBay, then one of the scalpers just buys it and makes money on it. Which I don't condone either, so I have two Steam controllers that are sitting in my living room that I have used to... So far, we have used them to couch co-op sort Dungeons & Dragons inventories at the same time in Baldur's Gate 3. And I have not thought of another earthly use for having two Steam controllers plugged into the same console. Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at, Hummingbird, with it. It's like, well, this was the plan anyway, and I overpaid for it, like, through the fucking nose, but I guess we'll just stick to the plan, because it wasn't a terrible plan to begin with. Just something may come along. It's cool technology. Here we are. Batman's an evoker. Therefore, it must die. Isn't this a fun class that's in the game chat? He has a bunch of friends. It's 2 a.m. and I've talked about this before. 2 a.m. is where all the kill squads come out. Nah, he also has like a scrapper and a thief stealthing him. Yeah, we got him pretty close. Like I said, the Condi damage on Bladesworn forces people to press buttons they're not expecting, and when they press buttons they're not expecting to have to press, it opens them up usually to other forms of damage. Plus my build's also a little scuffed, and I need to fix the gear because I switched off Dragon's Pipe mine. We're getting close to it anyway, so I'll fix it off stage and maybe stream this Friday or this weekend again. I'm sorry my times have been so all over the place, chat. I usually stream on Monday, Wednesday, and sometimes on the weekend at 9, like right at 9 p.m. But work destroyed me this week, and just Bladesworn changes, and life's been busy. So I do appreciate you having those notifications ticked and stuff for when I go live. I don't make any money by doing this bullshit. I do it for fun, so if people want to hang out, come hang out. If you don't, all good. Bravest renegade. What's it called? Is it literally called that, Kale? Yeah, I'll screenshot that. Is it safe? I mean, you probably haven't tested it. Because all it would take... What's really weird about the Steam controller is when it's plugged into anything else, it shows up as a mouse and keyboard, but when it's plugged into Steam, it just shows up as a controller with mouse pads. Which has to be some native Steam mapping bullshit. Yeah, I'll check it out for sure. The problem is, like, the primary reason I bought the Steam controller at all was to try to get less of an input delay, because Microsoft's dongle is good but not great and disconnects all the time, as we've seen. And with the Steam controller, I was really... God damn it, I'm never gonna fucking not be in rifle. With the Steam controller, I was really hoping we could get the delay even lower, but the problem is that if I add another layer, like a translation layer, I don't want that to add, like, delay to the reason I'm plugging this in. But I could do a stream just mapping it, you're right. That'd be kind of fun. Oh, he fucking teleported, Jesus. No, I can just screenshot this whole thing. It's good to have, like, recommendations. Did you get one? Hummingbird, that's awesome if you did. I know you wanted one. We're, like, concerned about getting one. Yeah, I'm glad they seem to be getting them back in stock and stuff. And at least Steam has the queuing system, which I'm 90% sure they just did deliberately to sell out of them so they could get press. All right, one more thing. Let's take this camp and then find somebody to raid. We have the original one. The original one was wild. The original one I feel like would have really taken off if they had 2 sticks on it. And the D-pad. This has 3 minutes. Jesus. How much supply do you have? Let's go, like, poke this tower and die honorably. $18. Alright, let's get really lucky here. I'm gonna throw this here. No, don't bring the guard. Are you just pasting me Google results, or are these things you've actually looked into, Kale? We did not get lucky. Truly tragic. Google, awesome. What could go wrong? Google, if you're listening to this, I will pay you money to not have the fucking dog shit results anymore. Like the AI results at the top of the page. I will actively pay you money. I've given up. I will pay them $1 a month to remove that. I want it gone. And I want it gone without having to sign into my fucking account. And I know there are extensions that will do that. I will pay Google money. I will make AI profitable for them by paying them to not have it. Oh, there's blue people. Fight, 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 fight. Oh, is it the same guys? I'm gonna slowly walk up to them. No, come back. We're moving so fast. I have. There's one we have in-house for work that I may or may not secretly use a bunch. That I'm probably not supposed to. Kagi I've been using. There's another one that's fuck, well, it's really good for images. I have it in my bookmarks, but I can't think of it. It's like way better than Google also for reverse image searching anything. Which is really how you find stuff these days. Brave is also full of AI. Unfortunately. You can Yandex, that's it. I mean, I don't log into it. Just, hey, can you find this thing? I didn't know it was Russian, though. Probably I shouldn't use it. You're probably correct there. Although everybody sucks these days. What's Putin gonna do with my image search history? Can you? Can you disable it in settings, or do you have to log in, Hummingbird? Okay, I'll just do that, because Brave is one of the browsers I have installed to test stuff for work, so I'll just use that. Problem with Brave is it's worse, but oh well, we're here. Anyway, I'm hungry as crap, chat. Might try to get away here and then go die in a pile of burritos. We'll see what we can do. Actual God, how does he do it? How does he do it? How does he press sword 2 with such efficacy? Sorry. All right. Yeah, I know searches have to be trained and get better over time. All right, chat. This has been fun. I'm working on the build. If y'all find any good cooks, let me know. Feel free to post them in the comments. I really am enjoying hearing from other people. Like, I'm not the main character of existence, and I really do genuinely value input. So if you have a Bladesworn cook that you are really enjoying or you have seen played, please drop me a comment. I would love to know about it. Love to learn. What is Joppa doing streaming at 2 a.m.? Man is crazy. This guy. Oh my god. Well, enjoy your second Joppa raid to date. And we'll go say hi to him, and I will... Don't know how to do it on YouTube. I'll write that on the notepad too. I have 2 things. There we go. We're learning. I don't even know. Could I do it separately? Yeah, I could, because of how I'd have to go into each chat. Okay, okay. We're learning. Go say hi to Joppa chat. I'll be back on Monday, if not sooner. Let me know what you thought. Let me know about the patch. Let me know what you're enjoying, what you're not. Doesn't have to just be about Bladesworn. And I will see you soon. Be kind to yourself, be kind to others, pay it forward, and have a wonderful night. Cheers! See ya. Bye, YouTube. Have a good one. Thank you, Hummingbird. That was a lot of fun.